Hey, good afternoon, and welcome here to the campus of Montana Tech, Bob Green Field, as we get ready for Frontier action as the Vikings come to town to take on the Orediggers. Montana Tech doing battle with Valley City. The Digs 10-0 on the year, and of course undefeated to this point, currently sitting in the top 5 in the country. Valley City comes in a strong season, 6-3 overall, 3-2 in the Eastern Frontier Conference play, and these two teams will meet here for the first time. So our first chance to see this Viking team play. The Orediggers back at home here for Senior Day. Certainly looking forward to that I don't know. I'm such a sucker for Senior Day. It's such a big day. It means so much to campus, to our community, of course, to our football team and family. It's just a big deal, in my opinion. And on that, and I'm sure Haskett and I will talk about it as the day goes. If you haven't heard, if you're with the Orediggers family, if you haven't heard Coach Sampson talk about his seniors and his words, I urge you to go do so. You can find it on the Orediggers podcast. It's on every platform, whether you get your podcast from like iTunes or whatever. You can find it anywhere. It's called Orediggers. There's a bonus episode in there with Coach Sampson, and he talks about his seniors in his own words. It's always one of my favorite interviews, and you learn real quick what these players mean to a coach. And this is a big day, a special day, as Montana Tech taking on the Vikings here on a Saturday afternoon. Let's talk about this Viking team. Valley City again comes in 6-3 overall, 3-2 in Frontier Conference East play. Their season started on August 26th. They fell to Dickinson State. 30-15 was their opening loss to Dickinson State, again back on August 28th. They beat Augsburg University 27-0. They beat Eastern Oregon in a score of 3-0. They beat Simpson of California 27-21 in non-conference. Then on the conference side of things, they fell to Rocky 31-21. They beat Mayville 21-0. They lost to Dakota State 40-7, and they've won their last two. They beat Dickinson State 29-21, and they beat Northern up to lovely and scenic Harv 13-7. So that's a look at Valley City as we get started here. Ron Haskett, after running up the stairs from the tailgate, how you doing?
I didn't run.
Did you have your breath with you? Are you okay?
Well, it's partially gone, but I did walk.
We're old and those steps are steep.
Yes.
Senior Day, brother. 19 seniors for Montana Tech. I kind of briefly talked about it a few ago. Just one of my favorite days, and one that you have made me appreciate a lot more in our decades together doing this. It's a big day for the program, big day for Coach Sampson, and a big day for the Orediggers.
Well, you'll be happy to know I listened to the senior interviews on the way in. I had a nice long drive this morning down from Shelby, and the tears are gone. You know how I am about Senior Day, but the interviews are exceptional. I'd encourage you to go to Orediggers podcast and listen to the interviews if you miss them today at halftime. But I remember Bob Green talking so eloquently about his seniors in detail.
Yeah.
And the last text I sent you today, Sampson's doing it right. Culture up here, it's easy to see. He did an outstanding job talking about each and every one of his seniors, and he knows them. Let's just put it that way. He knows everything about them. It is so good. It is a great listen. It's entertaining. It's not boring. And, I'll just leave it at that. There's a reason they're winning up here at Montana Tech, and it's kudos to the leadership on the coaching staff led by Kyle Sampson, and he knows his guys, period.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's something we started years and years and years ago with Coach Green, and lucky enough to do it not only here at Montana Tech, but at Butte High School for a lot of years. And Senior Day is a special day for, we always talk about it from the position of a head coach, but you certainly have that perspective of an assistant coach as well. It's big for the entire program, and it's an emotional day for everybody on the coaching staff.
They're as or more affected by Senior Day than even the head coach, because they spend so much time in meetings, pregame meetings, pre-practice meetings, so much time together just as small groups. You take that back to your employment. You work in small groups for maybe a larger individual or a larger entity. But it made me learn to appreciate a 4 or 5, or in some cases a 6-year senior. You spend a lot of time with them. You get to know them. You get to know everything about them, not just their football ability, but everything about their life, their maybe chosen career path after college, and any way you can help them in that endeavor. But it opened my eyes. I never thought much of it as a player, to be honest with you. But as a coach or a position coach, it is a highly emotional day for all these assistants, not just the head coach, but all these assistants here on this Montana Tech staff who are doing an outstanding job, top to bottom.
Well, again, thanks for joining us for Senior Day. That, of course, means the final home game during the regular season for these Orediggers. For Montana Tech, a couple things you can't expect. One, the first thing out of the gate is you can't expect there will be a playoff game. And you just never know. But I think at this point, Tech is more than likely going to host a playoff game no matter what. If the Digs take care of business today and finish the regular season off at 11-0, you know they will certainly host and more than likely host a couple of games. But there's a whole lot to talk about and 60 minutes of football that are going to go down before we even get to that point. So let's talk about this Montana Tech side of things. As we mentioned, Tech comes in 10-0 on the year, averaging 406 yards of total offense a game. 175 on the ground, 231 through the air. They're averaging just under 40 points a game at 38.8. That's good for 19th in the country. They have 52 total touchdowns on the year, which is a crazy number. That is 12th in the NAIA this year. And this offense, the only thing I can keep saying about it is we haven't even seen the ceiling. Like, we have no idea what the top end of this is. You know, we haven't seen it yet.
Well, they've had a lot of lopsided games, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how it is. I mean, we all look and watch our favorite team on Saturdays or Sundays, whether it's NAIA football all the way through FBS football all the way through the NFL. Teams will start to kind of ratchet it back, ball control and stuff like that. Tech's been in a lot of situations like that this year where they just don't leave the hammer down. They've gotten a lot of 2s, 3s, getting everybody involved, just securing wins. They do a great job of recognizing when and how the victory's at hand. And they're getting to see a lot of bodies.
Yeah. And young guys are getting a ton of reps.
Yeah, you're just not going to see. I mean, we saw a 51-0 win over Mayville State here. That certainly could have been worse than that. I mean, it just could have. But so a lot of those offensive total numbers that you're given are skewed a little bit. This is a really good offensive team, and they do it. They get you in a lot of ways. You want to stop them from running, they'll throw it. You want to stop them from throwing, they'll run it. And there's a reason they're 10-0. You can use superlatives in a lot of aspects with this team, offensively, defensively, or if you want to get into individuals and coaching. But, there's a reason they're 10-0. You'll get exhausted talking about who's doing what and how good.
Yeah, that's the honest-to-God truth. It's one of those, you look at it number-wise, some numbers that could be, some records that could be broken today. Levi Torgerson is all over the all-purpose yards. Nolan Saraceni has held that record since 2015, I believe, is Nolan's year. 1,823 yards, and coming into this ball game, Levi Torgerson about 80 yards shy of that in all-purpose yards. He's had an incredible season. I mean, it feels like a video game kind of season for Levi Torgerson with kick returns, punt returns, rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, throwing touchdowns. I mean, he's thrown 3 touchdown passes this year, for goodness sake. Levi Torgerson has done it all.
It's not ridiculous to think that depending on the coin flip to start the game, that record may be done in 15 seconds or 12 seconds.
Certainly the way the season started.
He is literally a threat to take the ball into the end zone from any capacity, certainly on punt returns and kick returns. He's a fantastic player. He's unbelievably confident with the ball in his hands. He trusts his teammates. And the thing he does is he tries to eat up every opportunity to help his team out. And I go back to just something simple that you hear me talk about all the time, punt returns. That ball rarely hits the carpet when he's back there. He understands the importance of getting under it, even if he's fair catching it or returning it, but he gets his mitts on that football.
I find it still so surprising. I mean, we're coming up here in week 11, and people are still kicking to him. That part has really amazed me. Like every week, last week watching the stream, down to Dickinson, and I'm in the gym watching, calling a basketball game. We've got the football game up on a screen, and they're still kicking to them. I don't understand that. I think at a point you've just got to be like, we're better off just throwing it out of bounds.
There's a couple factors in there, right? Not everybody's got the luxury of, say, Ryder Baranowski kicking the ball out of the end zone, not giving a return guy the opportunity on kickoffs. And punts, what you have to remember is him as a punt returner, there's a little pressure on the punter and the punting unit from the opposing team there, because Montana Tech's blocked 3 punts this year. So you're going to get pressure, and you can't sit there and kind of pick your spots. Sometimes you just got to field that snap and get the thing kicked. If he catches it, he catches it. If he returns it, he returns it. But a lot of times it's just a matter of advancing the ball. Yeah,
that's a tremendous point. And again, thanks for joining us. We're here on Digger Vision. Montana Tech getting ready to take on Valley City. It is senior day, and certainly looking forward to this one as the Digs come in 10-0 on the year, their best start in program history, and currently sitting at number 5. Tied for 4th in the NAIA Coaches Poll. But again, the Coaches Poll means nothing anymore. All it is there for is basically for people to argue about, and my goodness, do we argue about it. When it comes to the playoff picture, the Coaches Poll has nothing to do with who gets into the playoffs, what the playoff seeding is going to be. So we'll see.
Help me out here, because I get asked all the time, what does matter when it comes to the seeding?
You basically got a power index that, as far as takes account into who you have played, who you have beat, where you have won. So there's a scale of points from, I believe, 30, maybe 34 points to like 18. And the most points you can get is if you go beat a team that has over a 900 record. Basically, like you go on the road and beat an undefeated team, you're going to get 34 points for that win. And then on the other side of that is if you're at home and you get beat by a team that has no wins, you're only going to get like 26 points for that game. But each week those will change because teams' winning percentages change. So that's where the confusion kind of comes in. That's one factor. And then there is the Massey rating, which also is another mathematical formula that is going to get factored in. Those two are the main criteria. Again, the Coaches Poll has nothing to do with it. And it's interesting to see the discussions we have had now for the last couple of weeks are crazy.
So does the criteria mean just basically win-loss, or is there a margin of victory that's factored in there as well?
The Massey has a margin of victory, but it's not a very big one.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to get like 80 points. Like if you're going to leave your starters in, let's say, through the 4th quarter on senior day and run up like 70 points.
That's what I was getting at, going back to what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, you're not going to get,
I'm not saying it's mercy, but it's an opportunity, when Tech's up big, to get 2s, 3s in there, get a lot of bodies, and get guys rest, heal up injuries.
Yeah.
And Montana Tech's in a great situation. If they can get a victory here today, they are in a great situation. Looking at a week off, am I right?
Yes. Yep. They'll have the bye, and I think at this point the bye will be in effect no matter what. I think they'll have a bye next week. They'll more than likely host that following Saturday after Thanksgiving, especially if they win today. That would be the case, and more than likely host a pair of games. But again, there's 60 minutes of football yet to talk about that as the team comes out. Again, thanks for joining us as they make their way through the Digger Walk. We will have the hype video from Kyle Sampson coming up on the Jumbo here in a little bit. We're going to get our national anthem. It's Veterans Day. We're going to celebrate our veterans, I should say, our Military Appreciation Day here on the campus of Montana Tech, made possible by Langlis and Associates. And we are rolling it's exciting. This is going to be a good day, brother. Senior day here at Montana Tech as the Digs come out. Let's take a look here at Valley City real quickly. Individually, they're led by Mr. Cave at quarterback. Joey Cave is a 6-foot junior out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Cave has thrown for 1,089 yards. He's completing about 63% of his passes. He's thrown 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions thus far. He's averaging about 136 yards a game through the air. He is also their leading rusher as he comes in with 144 carries, a little over 400 yards on the ground, 4 scoring touchdowns on the ground as well, and he's averaging about 51 yards a game on the ground here today, or I should say on the season for Valley City.
Completes around 63% of his balls, and can you imagine the defensive blocker room this week? Who are we focusing on? because he has had a really good year. Cave has.
Yeah, he has.
He's had such a good year. I kind of want to call him Cave or something really cool.
Give it some swagger.
Well, I was going to get I was expecting something really cool. Just Cave. Yeah. But, I'm assuming his nickname's Caveman, right?
I don't know. We can certainly look into
That'd be
that.
a great name for a quarterback.
Other tailbacks you're going to see, a young man named Pearson, 83 carries, 362 yards, and Goen has 40 carries for 118 yards. Their defense has some guys. They have a couple dudes in the defensive side of things, as they have Gerhard, a defensive back, as their leading tackler. He has 76 tackles. He also has 3 tackles for loss and 1 forced fumble. And then Chapman, a big D lineman, has 34 total tackles. He has 6 sacks coming into this one with 8.5 tackles for loss. So that front 7 for this Valley City team, going to be scrappy, going to be hard to move around. We'll see how it goes down.
Just to be able to compete out there, if you're not focusing on your front 7 defensively, we've seen it time and time again. I think not so much maybe Valley City or Mayville State, who, at times Mayville, they shut this Tech offense down a little bit. They had the big poppers and stuff, but, I think teams like Midwest teams like Dakota State, who was pretty good defensively. Montana Tech got away from them, but there were a lot of big plays there, followed by a lot of stuff that was 2-3 yard grind out type stuff. But yeah, they certainly in the Midwest, you get in the Dakotas, one thing you learn how to do is shed blocks and tackle.
Yeah, and that is the truth. On the other side, Montana Tech, of course, led by Jarrett Wilson, completing over 74% of his passes. He's thrown for 1,995 yards this year, averages just shy of 200 a game. He has 22 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. His long was 74 yards. He is also one of their leading rushers, just under 400 yards on the ground, 83 carries. It feels like last week he really kind of had the reins pulled off him to run the football. Felt like he might have been banged up there for a couple of weeks, or else they're just trying to keep him healthy down the stretch. But it felt like last week on the road, he really kind of had the reins were tossed off, and he had green light to take off whenever he wanted to.
Are you talking about
Wilson?
Wilson, yeah. I agree. Watched a little bit of tape on those guys this week, but yeah, I mean, it's just an offense that's, regardless of what you see on the periphery there, number one, you got to take care of quarterback, both throwing the ball and, more importantly, running the ball. And we'll see how that goes. Or you were talking about Jarrett Wilson.
I was talking Jarrett.
Oh, how good was he? Sorry about that.
You weren't even listening to me, were you?
Well,
we are married, aren't we? I talk and you don't even listen to me.
I was. The funniest thing that I was thinking about on the way down today was there was a kind of a quarterback discrepancy here to start the year, right?
Yeah, there was a battle for a couple weeks.
From a quarterback or a coaching staff that absolutely understands the game and everything, and you can get various opinions out there on who the starter should have been. It's amazing what Jarrett Wilson's turned into, how efficient he is, throwing the ball, how he runs the offense, and what I like, and you're starting to see it a little bit, is moving forward, okay, getting past the regular season and the conference season, it's going to be important if his willingness to carry the ball north-south, and he's doing a great job.
His decision-making process has been, it feels like flawless. It feels like he is very rarely have we come up and gone, gosh, if he'd have done this instead, or if he'd have handed that off or kept it instead. It has just been outstanding to this point.
And what that's going to do for his tailbacks is unbelievable.
Yeah. It is senior day, and as you see on your screen, some of our seniors getting together here as there is a thank you from Coach Kyle Sampson being played in the arena. But so the first there is Caden Cross. Caden has his mom and dad, sister, and fiance out there. Caden, of course, a football player for Montana Tech, but also a young man that's had an injury and has been on the coaching staff, and he has been fantastic. I mean, he has worked his tail off on the coaching side of things and has been a huge asset for these Orediggers.
Listen to that senior interview. He wants. Ignore that engineering degree. I want you to come coach football for us and listen to Kyle Sampson.
He did
so
too.
That's a guy. You'll hear me say it probably ad nauseum. What they got going in that locker room up here is keeping guys engaged. And he still wanted to be a part of this stuff, even though he wasn't medically cleared after a pelvis injury. and just to be able to come and contribute. And then he just turned himself into an outstanding assistant offensive line coach to Coach Danny Thatcher, and they just love him.
And there is Charlie Kurgan next. Charlie, he's the man. Charlie Kurgan, I, of course, am the president of the Feed Kurgan the Ball. Charlie Kurgan is out there next. Beyond him, we've got Christian Vetter. And do we have a Christian Vetter story to pass along here in a few minutes? But Christian Vetter, Butte, Montana's own Christian Vetter, played for Erie Gray at Butte High School, had an incredible career at Butte High, came up here and has fought and gotten after it. And he is going to work himself into a start here today, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Cole Worley.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
These guys are all buddies, right?
Yeah.
Kurgan's just absolutely adored in the Missoula community.
Yeah.
And that's come to the Butte community as well. Really well-liked player. And he's done whatever he could for this team. And then you get to Christian Vetter. I mean, you talked about it earlier. If it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all, with the injuries and stuff. But he resurfaces in against Mayville. Was it Mayville State where he had over 100 yards? Mm-hmm. As the third-string tailback. Yeah, he's capping it off really good.
Just a special day here with the seniors. We left it off at Cole Worley, another one, just a workhorse. Worley, of course, another Butte High product, came up here and has just worked his behind off in the weight room, on the field, seen some reps at special teams, and is just an absolute heartbeat of this program.
Hasn't had a ton of minutes up here, but he looks his coach eye to eye, right? He talked in the senior interviews about being eye to eye with Cole Worley. They got a lot in common. And again, it's culture in the locker room. It's a great place to be. Even if you're playing or not, you're still a part of the system. And Cole's been a great testament to Butte's work ethic and his overall efforts up here at Montana Tech.
David Lowry is out there as well. We have 19 seniors, just an incredible group here for Montana Tech. David Lowry, another young man that has his mom and dad, sister and brother out there with him, has just had a tremendous career here at Montana Tech, and we'll actually obviously talk about him as we continue. Damon Burns, an engineering transfer, came here this year as a he's one of those smart guys, full-time engineer, and has had a tremendous year here for Montana Tech, 4 interceptions, and has been an outstanding add, if you will, to the secondary for the Orediggers.
A really physical secondary here. You talk corner to corner with Lowry, who's had a great year. Had to wait his time, right? And then Damon Burns stepping in there, outstanding student athlete, coming in on the nickel and dime packages, leads this team in interceptions, outstanding.
Parker Johnson, you look through this list and they're just incredible people. They're such good football players. They're such good people, though. And I watch some of these guys out here, and you get to know them, and they're just phenomenal. Guys like Derek Pierce has been such a huge factor at tight end. A lot of times a tight end is either a receiving tight end or a blocking tight end. We're lucky enough that Derek Pierce encompasses both of those. He does both so well, and has done so, has been such a tremendous asset for Montana Tech.
Yeah, Pierce has just made play after play in the run game, in the pass game for this offense. He's just had a great senior year. So happy for him. All those years as somewhat of a blocking tight end, but getting to show his prowess out there in the passing game. And then, the guys like Levi Torgerson, there's not much to say about him, so we'll just move on.
Yeah, just nothing there at all. And again, it's one of those, please go online, go and download the Roll Digs podcast. It's just Coach talking about these seniors in his own words. That's it. I mean, that's all there is to it. It is worth your time. It's going to be too long to fit into halftime, which we normally tried to do, but it's worth your time to get out there and take a look. But you're going down through the list here. You've got guys like Jace Thompson, Jacob Graves, Jackson Cotton, absolute staples of this team. Levi Torgerson, who we're going to talk an awful lot about. Nate Milanowski is a guy that transferred in this year, and a guy that I love a lot. Just a good kid. Parker Johnson, that's if he didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck at all. Parker Johnson has been injured just about every way possible as an Oredigger, and has just continued to get after it. He's back out there catching passes and just gets after it. Peyton Gonzer at safety has had a marvelous year this year, and he's another one of those guys that waited for his time, and when he got it, he took advantage of it, and he has just had an outstanding year in Peyton Gonzer.
You hear me talk about this defense, and it starts at, with the 2 safeties, and of course Lowry out there at corner, to give all the seniors their kudos. But if you just funnel it down from 2 half-field safeties working downhill through a middle linebacker with the experience and the great year that Tel Arthur's having, to that interior, Zach Newton and Trey Yates. Like I said, one of the games earlier this year. You're a senior, fifth-year senior, and you're still holding on to your position, seeing 4 recruiting classes behind you. You're legit.
Yeah,
so, and these guys have all, the proof's in the pudding, and they put in the work and are reaping the rewards.
Obviously, they're much faster on the field than we are. Guys like Tell Arthur, talking about guys that have put in their time and have stepped up. He has just had a phenomenal season this year. Tom Walkup, one of my favorites from Bozeman, the offensive lineman, always has a smile on his face, always is giving me crap in the hyper, and I love him to death. Trey Yates, Wykeesh Johnson, of course, is the man that transferred in this year from Mississippi State, has had just a phenomenal year. And again, maybe there's an expectation. You think if a guy comes in from Mississippi State, he's going to have an ego. He's going to be like, I'm better than the rest of you. He is just such a good dude, and he is just such a part of this team, and it makes you awfully proud to have him as an Oredigger.
We touched on that early in the season, when he was reaching the end zone. Go back. You'd have to be really bored to do it. But he scored a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Go watch what he does when he crosses the goal line. Is he excited with his teammates? Absolutely. First thing he does typically, turn around, toss the ball to the official, and say, see you next time.
Yeah,
he is legit. Very, very, a ton of humility, and he's just a part of this process that they have going on up here, and what a great asset to that backfield here at Montana Tech.
And the only one we are missing up here anyway was Zach Newton. Newton closing out the deal here. Our 19 seniors, another guy that has just been a staple here at Montana Tech. And another one that just good people, man. It just makes you awfully proud to call them Orediggers and be part of what they have brought to the table. We've got our flag out on the field. We're going to get our national anthem here in a moment. And Chad Okrish singing our national anthem.
See by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Military Appreciation Day here on the campus of Montana Tech. We saw Kevin Diggins out there. He has done such a tremendous job. First and foremost, he's an Oredigger to his core. And then you go from there, and what he has done, with his career in military service has just been phenomenal. Tear it up, brother. Just a guy that I adore, and his family is always at the top of my mind. But yeah, Kevin Diggins has done a lot for us, and he is responsible for this today. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being with us for Military Appreciation Day. If you have served, if you have family members that have, thank them for me, because you have allowed me to talk nonsense on the YouTube channel and on the airwaves when you have all done hard work and I've done nothing with my life.
Yeah, it makes you feel pretty small, but you got to love Diggins. He's competitive in every aspect of life. He really embraces his military background and the competitiveness. Listen to him talk about his kids and his kids' teams and all that stuff. You don't have to go any further than just go up and shake his hand.
Truly.
You're
broken knuckles.
Yeah, you've got someone that's ready to get it on.
Well, we're getting the flag rolled up out here again. Thanks for joining us. Military Appreciation Day brought to us by Langlis and Associates. I look down on the field and I see Mr. Torgerson down there, Kyle Torgerson, middle brother, who does the hype videos. He does so much for our community and for Orediggers. He's going to come up and chat at half. So I'm looking forward to talking to Kyle and give him some thanks for the incredible work that he does. But these seniors making their last trip out during the regular season, What's it? Talk about this from a just a perspective of game day operations. Do you try and keep it as normal as possible and just kind of go at it?
It's a real emotional day. Beyond anything you hear up here or any of the nostalgic stuff you'll ever hear come out of your mouth or my mouth, this is a big day for all these underclassmen on the sidelines. They want a win and a big win for these seniors. They're all impact in some fashion, whether it's their play, whether it's their leadership, both in the community or all, I guess in the community, in the classroom, and on the field. These guys are learning, right? These guys on the sideline, they're learning from these guys, and it's a real emotional day. You don't want any letdowns. And, it's just one of those things, as a team, you don't want the emotions to get the best of you. You still want to go out and execute. It's a game you're favored in, right? Go out and execute like you should be favored in it, both offensively and defensively. And, just stick to the task at hand. I mean,
stay where you are.
We talked about it earlier.
Valley City State.
There's a lot of people up here doing a lot of great things, and there's a reason this team's 10-0. I mean, you can go to the staff, you can go to the administration, go to the athletic director of the year up here. The support they get in the community and from this university up here is immense. But you know what they're doing? The support people are reaping the rewards, and these guys are delivering on the field and in the classroom. And it goes beyond these 120 people on the sideline. It's just a huge team here in Butte that's supporting these guys. You can see it in the attendance, you can see it in the tailgate, and just the overall support. So you just don't want any letdowns that are emotionally driven, and it's really tough to harness.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks for joining us. It looks as though Montana Tech will kick off. So I'll save I've got an incredible story when we go to offense.
Okay.
Like, I can't even wait. I'm just chomping at the bit so bad. One of my favorite stories I have heard in a long, long time, I was told earlier this week, and it'll happen on the offensive side of this thing, and I can't wait. So Montana Tech will kick off here. The Digs, of course, Mr. Baranowski will kick off from the 35-yard line. And Valley City, 2 guys back at the 5-yard line. And we're ready to roll. Again, Valley City 6-3 overall, 3-2 in the East. Montana Tech comes in 10-0 and 5-0 in the East. This whole Frontier East and West thing still throws me off a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
It looks like Gerhart and Westbrook back deep to receive this, I think. Is that an 18 to your side there?
It feels that way.
Hello.
Kickoff, Baranowski's going to pound it out the back of the end zone. So Valley City will start things off at their 25-yard line, and we're officially underway. Thanks for joining us. It's Senior Day. It's Military Appreciation Day, all brought to us by Langlis & Associates. Our thanks to them for making it possible.
And beyond all the offensive accolades and the defensive notoriety and all that stuff, special teams, you look at Baranowski kicking, 80% of the balls or 90% of the balls through the end zone. The punting they're getting out of Casey Countsman, let alone the field goal kicking, but everything's just been good.
Joey Cave will take it out of the shotgun. He has 1 back, 3 receivers. And we are underway. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here it comes. Cave, the handoff is going to go nowhere. It's going to lose a yard. It looks like he went to going. That's kind of who it looked like, and I do believe that is the case. Goen was the running back there. Marty Goen, a 5'9" senior out of Huron, South Dakota.
Yeah, and that's Newton down there at either at nose or at one technique, just shedding a block, getting down the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss.
2nd down and 11. 1 back, 3 receivers. Fullback is in. Tailback gets it again. He'll pound it across the 25. He'll get 2, nearly 3 positive yards. As Goen hit the hole hard at that time. There wasn't much of a hole, but it does get good positive yards.
You guys up there, that time, Cole Graham, the true freshman defensive end, getting down the line of scrimmage. And Graham playing this game with a club on his left arm. Must have had a hand or wrist injury there, but it isn't tough to see why he's playing as a true freshman. Tough enough to say, pad it up, rope it up, or tape it up, let's go.
Or cut it off. 3rd down and 8 here for the Vikings. Trips receivers, fullback in as well. Play action, wants to throw. Blitz coming. Pressure downfield, and they're going to be torn to the ground.
Should be offensive pass interference. Deutsch brings Who was it? Christian Hansen to the ground. Hansen's got that ball picked off.
So that'll bring up 4th down. Montana Tech had heavy pressure. Take a look at the replay. As, boy, there was a big hit delivered.
Yeah, that ball is intercepted if the receiver doesn't drag Hansen to the ground by the jersey.
So 4th down, Montana Tech's offense will get the football, ladies and gentlemen. Punter back at the 12-yard line. So the Vikings go 3 and out. Montana Tech, a little pressure, not a ton. Torgerson will start the return, takes it off the helmet, and he'll dive on it at the 39-yard line.
Boy, he wanted that one.
Yeah.
He looked like he was considering a fair catch, but then he thought, I think I can get this thing and go, and didn't look the ball in, but got on the ball after he deflected it.
All right, so the offense getting ready to come in. Like on Tuesday this week, Nate Milanowski and Wykees Johnson both together went into Coach Sampson and went, Coach, we're obviously both seniors, but the guy who needs to start is Christian Vetter. Huh. So the two guys that are leading the conference in rushing, both of your guys that have packed the program this year, both go in and say, hey, your fifth-year senior and Christian Vetter needs to start at running back, and Christian Vetter is starting here for the Digs at tailback. Love it. Torgerson in motion, handoff going to go to Vetter. Vetter will bust it across the 40. He's out to the 43. How good is that?
You can't expect an emotional guy like me to comment on that. What a great move.
So,
two guys that definitely can read the room, right?
Yeah. I mean, Wykees Johnson, Nate Milanowski, both transferred in this year. Nate Milanowski from Miami of Ohio and Wykees Johnson from Mississippi State. Both guys that have just walked into the Digger program and have become Orediggers. And they say, yeah, Christian Vetter needs to start. Wykees Johnson in the backfield here, 2nd down and 6. Torgerson in motion, heavy formation, handoff going to go to Torgerson. He'll turn the corner, bounces off a 1, gets pushed down at the 49, and that's 1st down yardage for Montana Tech.
Yeah, good scrape on the tackle. I think that was Aiden Russell coming down to put a good shot on Torgerson, but Torgerson got a nice cut up, got the ball to the 1st down marker, I guess, I don't know. I thought he had to be inside outside the 49-yard line, but 1st down regardless.
I'm with you. I thought it had to be on the other side of it, to be truthful. So 1 back and home, 4 receivers. Torgy wide right. In the slot is Michelati at the bottom of your screen.
I'd expect this team's been throwing the ball lately. I'd expect a little play action pass here.
4-man pressure coming. They're going to air it up left side. Pass complete at the 45. Spinning is Derek Pierce, and he is very close to 1st down yardage. He's going to get 9, be just shy of the 1st down marker.
Was that Pierce or Martinez? It was Pierce, huh? I can't read the numbers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
I should be able to tell by size.
So Pierce out on the edge, gets the pass, a gain of 9.
What a great year he's had.
Hasn't he? Just a great career. You know, it's just one of the unassuming guy, just a monster, and plays the game so well. 2nd and very short. 1 back. Do you take a shot here?
I would.
Ball at the 41-yard line.
I'd take a shot on 2nd and 15.
Handoff up the middle, tailback. That was kind of a stupid question to you, wasn't it? So that will move the chains for the Digs. Another 1st down for Montana Tech, and they'll get a fresh set.
I was a little surprised that I mentioned play action pass earlier. They just went straight drop back. But this offense is just so effective in play action. I'm not questioning anything coming down from the box or from the O coordinator, but just the threat of the tailback with the ball in his hand just gets all that underneath stuff out of the way.
Kurgan goes in motion, 1 back at home, snap a little low. He's able to dig it out. Jarrett Wilson's going to air it up. He has a man deep. Caught! Levi Torgerson. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
What a shot.
38 yards. What a throw from Wilson. Absolutely on the dot. And Torgerson is just that much closer to the all-purpose yard record at Montana Tech.
Torgerson's got a step here, but let me say it was a step. 1 step.
What a throw.
Wilson puts it on the dot.
That's a great catch. Tremendous throw. Montana Tech goes up 6-0. 10:50 left to play here in this opening quarter. What a throw from Jarrett Wilson. Coming into this ball game, Levi Torgerson needed about 82 yards of all-purpose yards to take over the record held by Nolan Saracini, and he is quickly on his way to that mark.
Yeah, they've got weapons upon weapons downfield receiving the football for this team. Not to mention the great running attack they do. They're just nightmare to stop.
10:50 left to play here in this opening quarter. Frontier Conference action. Thanks for joining us on Digger Vision. We're back in just a minute. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. Paul Panisco, the lovely and talented
Case IH combination application system solution.
I was sorry I was spraying my weeds there for a minute. Torgersons and I were getting ready. Look, there's Rainey. Hi, Rainey. It's Military Appreciation Day, and one of our great crew, Rainey, wearing his veteran's hat. We love you, buddy. I have such a good crew here, and Rainey just a part of it, and certainly thank him for his service and what he has done for our country and for our community. But Rainey, one of our crew for Military Appreciation Day. Great to have him here.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, that it was. Again, Montana Tech, just what they've done this year is just incredible. 5 plays, 61 yards, 7 points.
Probably something we maybe haven't emphasized enough this year is Montana Tech's ability this year to get on top of teams early.
Yeah.
And what advantages that brings. But, you know, it's a testament to what they're doing, preparing throughout the week, and they're getting up on teams. I go back to College of Idaho, a game that I wasn't in the booth for, but I went back and watched. They got up on College of Idaho early and kind of had to hold on. I was able to go watch the College of Idaho Carroll game in Helena last week. College of Idaho is legit. They're a good football team.
That is the truth. So Baranowski will blaze this one out of the back of the end zone as well.
Not taking anything away from Carroll, who's the Carrolls had a great year as well, but the College of Idaho was clearly the better team on the field last week in Helena.
Well, and you talk about this Tech team, their ability to get up early. They've only trailed this year for, one series. That was it. You know, they were down 3-0 a couple of weeks ago. Was it Rocky?
Were they down 3-0 to Dickinson? Or was it Rocky?
Yeah, I want to say it was Rocky.
No, it wasn't Dickinson. Forget it. That score was 31-0 at one time. I think you're right. I think it was Rocky.
Yeah, and then the next series they went down and tied it up. But they've only trailed for, a matter of minutes this season. And back the other way we go. Cave at quarterback, 1 back, 3 receivers. They fake the screen. Cave's going to keep it himself. He is a good runner, puts his head down, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
That's that team speed. They just a little bit of game up front, a little slant in the defensive front, and they brought Beller on a C-gap blitz. And it's almost like they're just saying, hey, we're going to blitz right into this quarterback keep. And Beller was there. He didn't make the tackle, but he plugged the hole. Cave was forced to bounce it outside. And as I mentioned a ton of times this year, this is one really fast, good tackling defense.
Cave out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Cave looking right the whole way, airs it up, long pass to the sideline, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Boy, that had to cover some ground to get over to the sideline.
That's a tough completion. That's one of the reasons they measure that when quarterbacks go from college to the pros. Arm strength, that is a measure of arm strength, that 10 to 15-yard sideline route. And just a little wide of target that time. Montana Tech walked up safety Jace Thompson. A little dog blitz there on the outside. And Cave was forced to throw that ball just a little quicker maybe than he wanted to.
So the third down crowd getting loud here as Cave out of the shotgun. Again, he's completing about 64% of his passes. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Cave's looking right the whole way. Has a pocket, delivers downfield, and that one almost caught. Boy, that would have been a tremendous reception. Put it right off the fingertips that time of his receiver in Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook will tell you he should have had that ball. He had a step on his defender crossing the field on the deep over route, and Cave threw a pretty good ball there. It would have been tough for Westbrook to catch that and stay on his feet, and I think that was his end game there, right? Wanted to stay on his feet and maybe take it to the house, but sometimes you just got to, not take the loss, but just lay out, catch that ball, secure it, and move the chains. Montana Tech just with a simple end tackle twist there on both sides. Just a little bit of a discomfort for Cave, but the Vikings protected it well.
Rollout punt. Torgerson fields it at the 40-yard line. Fair caught there, so Montana Tech will take over at their 40-yard line. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision Senior Day. Also, it is Military Appreciation Day. Orediggers football here on a tremendous afternoon. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous here. Could not ask for a better day this late in the season. That's for darn sure.
See what Montana Tech runs out in the backfield. Wykes Johnson back in at tailback. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take another quick poke here on first down. Just let this defense know that largely they've been a throwing team as of late.
First down and 10, Montana Tech. Jarrett Wilson out of the shotgun. Handoff going to go to Wykes Johnson. He has a blocker. Wykes into the second level. He's across the 50 down to the 48. That's a gain of 13 for Wykes. And he wanted to bite off a whole lot more than that.
But why throw it when you can do that? Just stretch to the broad side of the field here. Really well blocked on the perimeter. Let out there by Montana Tech fullback. And Netburn's in there right now, but
Netburn's back in.
Yeah, nice
after
job.
An injury.
Sealing the edge.
First down and 10, Montana Tech. Again, heavy formation in the backfield. Wykes Johnson will get the rock straight ahead. And he is across the 40 to the 39. And again, oh boy, that felt like that was a half step away from the bye-bye.
Well, that's what Coach Sampson was talking about in his senior interviews about getting guys a little rest, time off, time to heal. We've mentioned it in the past. You haven't seen it so much in playing time, but there was something a little off there for a couple games earlier in the season for Wykes Johnson after, a 500-plus yard 3-game start. And it looks like he has the feet back underneath him.
Certainly does. Second down and 2. Johnson in the backfield. He'll get the rock again. He's trying to bounce right. He gets a good block across the 35, down to the 30. Wykes Johnson going to go for 7.
Looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. His lateral movements are so good. He has such tremendous footwork.
Yeah, and if you're banged up in the feet, ankle, and all that stuff, a lot of this jump cut stuff and change of direction that Johnson and good tailbacks do, it is largely affected. And it looks to me like, from the knees down, he's really healed up right now.
So Torgerson now going to line up in the backfield here for Montana Tech. Levi Torgerson in the backfield. 2 receivers left. Michelotti wide right. And Valley's going to call a timeout. They did not like number 2 in the backfield.
Yeah, probably wondering what they're going to see.
8:09 left to play here in this first quarter. It looks like we will we'll go ahead and keep it here. 8:09, not an official media timeout here. Montana Tech leading 7-0. They have the ball at the Valley City 31-yard line. As of right now, Montana Tech, let's see what we have here. They have run 8 plays for 90 yards. On the other side, Valley City has run 2 plays for 2 positive yards so far in the first 7 minutes of this one. So do you go right back to it? You put Torgu back in the backfield, or do you completely change what you were looking at?
Well, you had something in mind there, right? And I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're going to motion to no back maybe and get 5 guys in the route. Knowing, I watched a little bit of Valley City on defense. They'll bring a little pressure. The little bit that I watched, I never saw a full farm sale of stuff. Maybe the 4 down guys and maybe a linebacker and stuff, but. Like a lot of those Midwest teams, they tend not to just absolutely heat you up. Trust their defensive front and stay in coverage.
First down and 10. Nate Milanowski now in the backfield for Montana Tech. Play action. They're going to drop it off. Pass complete across the 25-20. Cut back at the 15. Down to the 13-yard line. And that is where they'll whistle it dead.
Nick Michelotti, I believe.
I believe as well. Michelotti gets the dump and
little play action leak out. Boy, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. If you're in man and you got a backer assigned to somebody that close in there, that's a huge mismatch. Michelotti, built like a linebacker, plays like a wideout. He's an unbelievable specimen. Built more like a tight end, should I say, but he can pick them up and put them down.
26 catches on the year for Michelotti. He has 8 touchdowns, over 500 yards receiving. Man in motion, handoff going to go to Johnson. We're going to get whistles aplenty.
Yeah, more than likely a false start here somewhere in that offensive front.
Hey, you'd have to think with him whistling it dead, it's on our side of the ball.
Offense, number 9.
Okay.
5-yard penalty, First down.
So is Dylan Snyder going to be hit with it?
Out wide here, Dylan's just a little anxious to get out and get a lead block for that perimeter action there out of the backfield.
First down and 15 now for Montana Tech. They're inside the Case IH red zone. As always.
That's what I wore from Shelby to Butte today was my Case IH hat.
Look at you go.
I was representing.
Handoff, play action, wants to throw it. Into the end zone, wide open, touchdown Montana Tech.
It's Michelotti.
My goodness, Michelotti. Not a soul picks him up. He gets into the back, and it is just nothing but daylight for Michelotti.
It's run game induced. You get a little play action in the backfield. Everybody sucks up. All of a sudden, who's ever over Michelotti, zone or man, they're on an island. And Michelotti has been so open in the end zone a few times this year. It's just unbelievable.
Boy, and honestly, great play action. They fake the handoff first to Torgerson. That pulls everybody to the right side, and then they fake the handoff to Wykeese up the middle. And quarterback Jarrett Wilson holds on to it.
That dude's 6'5". You know, and for a quarterback, maybe a little diminutive in stature as Wilson, he's easy to find out there.
Wow, diminutive, huh?
Diminutive. That's a four-syllable.
14-0, Montana Tech with the lead over Valley City. We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then Aim Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or CaseIH.com.
As always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. Did you honestly go out to the buffet? I wish I could get this on the air. Ron Haskett went out to our food buffet. He came back, so there's chili up here with all the fixins, and he came back into our booth with a bowl full of cheddar cheese and jalapenos. That's supposed to go on top of the chili, Haskett.
Well, I realize that, but I want to be respectful to my wife later. I don't need the after effects of chili need to produce. And I'm trying to, refereeing season's coming up.
Oh, okay.
I got to start, getting some weight off these feet.
So, jalapenos and cheese.
It's delicious.
I'm not sure it's worth it. Kickoff is away. And again, another boomer with some wind assistance. But I'll tell you, Baranowski has done that all year long. It just has an incredibly powerful leg and has driven it deep. So,
yeah, I still crack up going back to Mayville. Had a couple of kicks against the wind that were returnable. And Mayville did have a couple decent kick returns, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, well, they haven't had to cover and tackle many kicks this year. So.
No, that they have not. Excuse me. So Valley City is up to the line of scrimmage. Trips receivers left to the wide side of the field. Out of the shotgun, Joey Cave, the junior out of New Mexico. Looking left, now he's going to run. Cave straight ahead, and he gets chopped down. That's a tremendous play in the middle. And that is going to be a loss of a yard.
Just another great year. Jace Thompson waiting his turn there at safety. And Coach Kyle Sampson in those senior interviews talked at length about his patience and his improvement throughout his career here at Montana Tech. And he is, this isn't just fodder. The guy is playing really, really good football along with his partner out there, Peyton Gonzer.
Second down and 10, one back. Play action. Quarterback's going to keep it. Gets away from one defender. Tries to clear to the edge, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
That's what I mean. There's a real good example of the team speed here. Yeah. Just a little bit of a redirection in the backfield slows the quarterback down. Cave's got to slow down, change direction. Then it's another guy he's got to try and beat. Then it's another guy. These guys react and get to the football. They pursue the football unbelievably well.
You can see the cast on Graham's arm, for goodness sake. It looks like a club. Looking at the bottom of your screen there, his left hand. The true freshman out of Helena Capital, 3rd down and 10 here for Valley City. Cave trips receivers to his right. Montana Tech showing pressure. They'll bring 4. Cave in trouble, and he's going down. Cave is going to get sacked as Anthony Oakes will get him down. And Oakes will get the sack, bring up a long 4th down.
We get Oakes for 2 more years.
Yeah, that's the deal.
We haven't talked that, last year as a redshirt freshman, he just had an outstanding year. And this year he's been playing really good football. But I think they're a little deeper in that defensive front.
Agreed.
And so, Cole Graham and the like are getting a little bit of the accolades. I think of Wyatt DeVos, who I haven't seen on the field here today, by the way. But, Oakes is a great player. He's really maturing into a great defensive front guy.
Punt is away. This is a boomer. Tremendous spiral. Over the back, Torgerson fields it at the 33-yard line. A little shake and bake. He's across the 35, out to the 38-yard line.
He's
Levi
a lot of fun.
Torgerson.
Yeah, ball. 90% of the returners in college football do not go retrieve that ball, but he ran it down, probably kept it from rolling another 15, 20 years, and just got what he could out of it.
15 or 20 years?
Or 20 yards.
The idea that it catches it over the shoulder as well. He's just incredible. He's one of those players that you can tell the game gets real slow for.
He caught one over the shoulder earlier. It just happened to be a pass for a touchdown.
4:58 left to play here in the opening quarter. Montana Tech is back out offensively. They have run 10 plays, 126 yards. 1st down and 10 here for the Orediggers. Ball at their 37-yard line. Handoff going to go to the tailback, and that is Milanowski. Nate tries to clear the edge. He'll get hauled down at the 45-yard line.
Boy, that was a good job of pursuit.
Tackle.
James Don there running Milanowski down from behind. Looked like Milanowski had some space. Could he outrun Don? But not having it. Nice tackle there, but not before Milanowski picks up 7 yards. And 2 new receivers in the game that time. It looked like Martinez and Parker Johnston getting some snaps.
Great to see both of them in. 2nd down and 3 here for the Digs. Split backs. Hand off to Milanowski. He'll go right, and he has to work to get back to the line of scrimmage. Valley does a nice job getting to him. First there was Gerhardt. Gavin Gerhardt, the junior safety.
Yeah, Rakino in there, the linebacker, getting pressure in the backfield. Disrupted that offense just a little bit, but a better job of shedding blocks and making tackles there by that Viking defense.
Gerhardt, their safety, is their leading tackler. He comes into this ball game with 76 total tackles, having a really nice year. 3rd down and 3 here for the Orediggers. Montana Tech, 48% on 3rd down. That's good for 6th in the country.
Haven't talked much about the defensive front. They're kind of eagled over here, covering the center and in the short side of the field here.
They'll go end around, pitch to Torgerson. Torgerson goes out of bounds at the 47-yard line. He's going to move the chains. So Torgerson gets it. He'll get down to the 47-yard line, and that will move the chains here for Montana Tech. Their 8th first down of this opening quarter.
I wasn't watching close enough. Was that another nice catch in the backfield by Torgerson? Was that a pop pass?
I believe so.
What a way to make a living.
Jarrett Wilson loves it for the completion percentage.
Yeah.
First down and 10 here for the Digs. Empty backfield here is the fullback. Now Torgerson will go in motion. Fake the handoff. They're going to run back screen to Michelotti. Well defended. That ball's out, and Valley City's going to get it. Boy, that ball just shot out of Michelotti's hands, and Valley City going to dive on it.
It was just a great defensive play by Valley City in general. There was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But fly motion, hand fake in the background, coming back to where the motion came from for a little tunnel screen. Michelotti catches it, but he had nowhere to go, and he ends up getting hit by a retracing defensive front guy. Causes the fumble.
Sorry about that. Gerhardt comes up with the fumble. Valley City with their best field position of the day will start things off at their 44-yard line. They'll look to get their first down here today. They have run 9 offensive plays for -5 yards. So 1st down and 10 here.
Been a good sudden change defense this year.
Very much so.
The few times they've faced it.
Man in motion, Cave dropping back. He's going to get rid of it, pitches it out to the edge. They're going to say that's a live football.
Yeah, it was a forward pass. They're blowing it dead there.
Okay.
The top side the line judge blowing it dead. But again, Montana Tech in a hurry off the broad side of the field. Just a quick pass rush, and they had Cave uncomfortable.
He had to get rid of that thing quickly.
Yeah, Montana Tech runs in Novak, who's he hasn't been called on a ton this year. Young guy, junior, 6'5", 255, but he makes plays every time he's in there.
2nd down and 10 here for the Vikings. Rolling right is Cave. He'll get just inside the end, edged it up, downfield, pass complete. That's going to be 1st down yardage here for Valley City. I think forward progress. Oh wow, that's not a good spot at all.
Yeah, I think the proper spot would have been right in between that. Okay, I think I'm looking at 3rd and 1. Now they're making an adjustment here. I thought that the catch was made just at about the 47-yard line, and they did make an adjustment there.
Okay, so they do give it a little bit of space, but still 3rd down and 1 here for Valley City.
I don't watch that close, but it's literally right in front of me.
2 receivers left. One to the right. Cave has an empty backfield. Montana Tech showing blitz. Cave, he's going to run it himself. Gets behind his offensive fronts, and he'll get pushed back, but not before he does move the chain. So that'll be 1st down number 1 for Valley City here in Butte, Montana.
That's one of those plays you just say good job offensively and good job defensively. Both.
1:56 left to play here in the 1st quarter. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday. After today, Selection Sunday tomorrow. I believe 4 o'clock our time.
You'll have to keep me posted.
I won't be here. I'll be in California. 1st down and 10. 3 receivers, 1 back at home. Play action. Cave looking to throw. He's going to air it up downfield into double coverage. It's tipped, and that's going to fall incomplete. Boy, Tech all over that defensively. It felt like, honestly, Tech saw that football coming before the receiver did. The intended target was Deutsch.
Yeah, Deutsch, and he's bracketed in coverage here. The ball could have very well been picked off as well.
Ball gets popped up into the air, and Gonzer didn't see it as it was floating around, but good coverage by Montana Tech brings up 2nd down and 10.
I'd expect a little line game here, tackle in, twist or something, maybe plug a linebacker there as well. They're going to try and keep Cave uncomfortable.
3 receivers, fullback in, play action. Cave's going to run it himself, and he is going to get swallowed up. And they'll actually march him back about a half yard.
Montana Tech isn't just playing fast on defense. They're playing really smart. They're not getting to that point where, they'll talk about over-aggressive or fast defenses. You want to change direction on them. You want to run play fakes, go the other way. They're kind of careful in their process, and they just don't get stung by a lot of that. I wouldn't call zone keep trick action, especially with Cave in the backfield. He's ran it a ton, but they're ready for it.
3rd down and 10. Trips receivers, Cave out of the shotgun. Cave on the day is 1 of 6 through the air. And he's going to throw here. The slant route is swatted to the ground. That's going to be incomplete. Ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looked like Oaks got his hands on that. In there on the pass rush. Nice job.
Take a look at this on the Case Construction instant replay. Cave goes to fire this thing. And it hits him right in the face. Oaks goes up and takes it right in the grill. Tremendous job by Oaks. The punting unit is in here for the Vikings.
Back when I played, you never had that face mask to protect you.
4th down and long. Punt is away. It's interesting that the punter has the soccer style, but he has soccer style both ways.
That's a good read by Torgerson. He didn't go field that ball. It was over close to the sideline, but he read the end-over-end spin on it, saw it was going to land inside the 10-yard line, and banked on the obvious forward lurch out of that ball into the end zone. They'll start on the 20.
So Montana Tech will bring it out. The Digs have run 14 offensive plays for 144 yards. Jared Wilson is 7 of 7 through the year for 101 yards. He has both of Montana Tech's touchdowns so far, and they'll take over at the 20. And we'll see what the offense brings out here.
You probably see him get back to a little bit of that tailback play, inside, outside zone, maybe some power with Wykes Johnson here in the backfield. Just move the sticks a couple times. They'll probably choose to take a shot here downfield on every series, right? But I think they'll get back to running the football here.
Wykes Johnson in the backfield. Tight formation up front, play action. Rolling out. Wilson fires. That one partially tipped. Nice job defensively that time out in the secondary, getting a hand on it as Lopes.
Yeah, it was good reaction by Lopes there, the underneath coverage. on the rollout pass. Montana Tech does a little soft bootleg, something they've been really effective with all year long. Wilson rolling to his opposite side, but he's thrown the ball really well, moving that direction to his right this year. But Lopes, Johnny on the spot, gets the ball knocked down.
1 back, 3 receivers here for the Digs. 2nd and 10 from their 20-yard line. First incompletion today for Wilson. They'll change up the plays. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Dropping back Wilson. Shakes it off. He's going to run. Wilson across the 25. Takes a big hit. Stays on his feet. First down yardage. Jared Wilson going to move the chains for Montana Tech. And he will get his first rushing attempt of the day.
Took on a good shot there, about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down. Absorbed it, stayed on his feet. This is the stuff your sideline loves, your defense loves. Sticks it in there, stays on his feet. Boom, first down.
Yeah, that's the difference there between 2nd and 5 and 1st and 10. So a fresh set of downs as the first quarter comes to a close. Montana Tech leads 14-0 with a timeout. We'll take one. We're back here, ladies and gentlemen, in just a bit.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most. Community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Back here once again as we honor the men's basketball team. As the Montana Tech Orediggers, the basketball team has won the last 4 Frontier Conference regular season titles and the last 4 Frontier Conference tournament titles. First time that has ever been done in tournament history and in conference history. And just a huge accomplishment, and they have started the season out on fire. They are 6-0 through the non-conference season. The regular season gets underway next week, and the first home game during, as far as conference games go, is Black Friday.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, they're tough, boy. I mean, it's going to be another. You've seen it already, but this team is solid. 1st and 10, Montana Tech. Jared Wilson has thrown for 101 yards. Handoff to Wykees Johnson. He gets tripped up. Nice job at the backfield.
Yeah, that looks like Khalil Toney. Is that 20?
It looks that way. Nice job getting into the ankles that time.
I'm not even close.
Is it 50?
It's
so, okay. So Chapman, the D lineman, the senior out of Minnesota, making the stop. Nice job tripping him up. And he's the guy they move around that defensive front everywhere. I mean, they'll put him out of DN. They'll put him up in a 1. They'll put him up over the nose. 2nd down and 14 after the loss. Wilson sets up middle screen. Reception across the 30 out to the 32.
That's a really nice play there by Rakino again. 6 foot, 220-pound linebacker. Hawaii guy. Looks like Western, BYU, and Utah missed on him. Am I missing any schools?
No, I think you're okay. We need to establish that pipeline. 3rd down and 9. Up to the line of scrimmage, the Digs will put 2 receivers wide right. Montana Tech has run 17 offensive plays, 150 yards. Jared Wilson out of the shotgun. That is Torgerson in motion. 3-man pressure coming. Wilson moves right, airs it downfield, pass complete. Across midfield is Michelati to the 48-yard line of Valley City.
Good spot. Rakino's almost in position there in the underneath coverage to make a play. Wilson gets the ball to Michelotti just in time here on the crossing route. Almost distracted Michelotti is by Ricchino's attempt to swat that ball away.
Yeah. Nice job. Stays on his feet, and Michelotti, a gain of 22, will move the chains down to the 48-yard line of the Vikings. So Montana Tech, another first down. That's their 10th of the day. Tight formation up front. One back at home, and the handoff will go to the tailback, and that is Milanowski. Stiff arm, and he'll lean forward. We have a flag down, and this is in that holding territory.
Yeah, this might be on the backside there. I don't know if it had much to do with the play, but they may get Kerrigan here on the backside. Ended up on top of his defender, but maybe a hold here.
12:58 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference football here on Digger Vision.
66.
We have a packed house.
It wasn't Kerrigan. Looks like they got Thomas walk up, but
okay.
Regardless, it's 10 yards no matter who you assess it to.
So the penalty will back up Montana Tech to their 42-yard line.
I haven't said it in a few years, but I don't like singling out the people on defensive penalties or offensive penalties. Just say PI on the defense, PI on the offense.
They'll get singled out enough when they're watching video on Sunday. Split backs here for the Digs. Vikings showing blitz. They bring 5 up to the defensive front. Michelotti in motion. Handoff. Flags aplenty.
These are what drive you nuts as an offensive coach or an offensive staff. You know, you take on a hold. Sure, holdings happen. But when penalties start to stack here, I mean, it's really tough as a play caller, sequencing plays and stuff, to come out and say, what can we do on 1st and 25? You know, you realize you just want to try and get a chunk of it, right? But, you know, if you get a small chunk, you're 2nd and 23, you know? I mean, and then you're really in a bind. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you could do play action here. What good's play action going to do? They got 2 backs in the backfield. I'm expecting max pass protection, give Jarrett a chance to look downfield.
First down and long. Hand off to the tailback across the 45 near midfield.
Or just run draw.
All the penalty yards basically are gone. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11 on the handoff.
Good call, taking advantage of a loose defense. First and forever. Just draw to Milanowski with lead block. I think it was Kerrigan back there nice with run. Him.
So Milanowski with a nice run. That brings him up around 22 yards on the day. 2nd down and 11 here for the Digs.
Those tailbacks don't mind that either. You know, a chance to run into daylight there, knowing a team's expecting you to throw the ball. There's so many tough yards that they have to gain. It's nice to get a little daylight.
Onto the Viking side of the 50-yard line. Torgerson in motion. 4-man pressure coming. Wilson rolls left, airs it up downfield, has a man partially tipped. Torgerson will pull it in at the 35-yard line, and that's going to move the chains. On 2nd and 11, they'll get 15, and that will give Montana Tech a fresh set of downs. It looked like this was tipped as it got to Torgerson. See if that's the case. You see him lining up here.
Yeah, I don't know if he got a piece of it or not, but Torgerson looked it in, and he's just so comfortable with the ball in his hands. He just, they can't overstate it. I mean, the guy can just effortlessly catch a football. And I'm not going to say that was a highlight reel catch for him, but he just makes it look so nonchalant.
My thanks to Jason and our crew. Tremendous job on the replay, my friend. Man in motion near side. 1st down and 10. Pressure coming. Wilson's going to scramble. Gets away from one, trying to clear the edge, and he's not going to get there. Good pursuit that time by the Vikings. As with the tackle is going to be Sadness. Yeah. So Sadness.
Dorian Sadness. Good job. Wilson was slowed down a little bit. You got to like Wilson's chances in the open field, but you can't disrespect the defense. Either Sadness is on the field for a reason. He can run and he can tackle.
So 2nd down and 11 here for the Orediggers. I feel like they have about 350 recruits on campus for this football game. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Wilson looks to the sideline. In the backfield with him, Wykeese Johnson. 4 carries, 29 yards for Wykeese on the night. He'll get the ball here. Wykeese bike to the left side. He's down to the 31-yard line. Initially didn't look like much there, and he's going to get 5 yards out of it. Good blocking out in front of him.
Yeah, good job patient running by Wykeese, just waiting for the wash, that zone blocking to get out there in front of him, just lean on their backs. Knowing there's not a huge hole there, but go get what you can.
3rd down and 5 here for the Digs. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Vikings. Valley City comes in 6-3 overall, 3-2 in the Frontier East.
Tech runs Christian Vetter back out there at tailback. Haven't seen him since the first series.
And now Valley City is going to call a timeout. So the Vikings will use their second timeout of the day, and we'll step aside as well. 9:10 left to play here in the first half. With the timeout, we'll take one. We're back here after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Reisig, an orthopedic surgeon here in Butte, Montana with specialty training in foot and ankle. I chose orthopedic surgery because I get to actively help my patients enjoy their lives. The human body in general is just really amazing. The way everything works as a unit, the way the bones, tendons, muscles all work to function and just make people move is something that I've always found incredibly fascinating. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a patient get better because of the work we did together.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. The Digs up 14-0. They're looking at 3rd down and 5 at the Vikings 31-yard line. Jared Wilson.
I think this 4-down territory. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wakees Johnson get this ball. They ran Wakees back out there and got Vetter out of the game.
Wakees 35 yards on the ground so far today. Play action. Wilson in trouble. Looks like a busted play. You had that ball out there. Looked like Wakees supposed to get that rock.
Well, that's what I mean. You know, you get back to that whole zone read principle. Is he reading it or is it pre-called? That would tell me it was a pre-call to him. He had nowhere to go with it. There was a huge hole there by alignment. They only had 2 guys, I believe, lined up on the defensive front. I think Wilson saw that hole there. I think the play there is just give it to Johnson.
4th down and 10. What originally was, you'd have to assume, no matter what, shot at 2-down territory. Now Montana Tech can take a timeout and talk about it here. With that loss, that certainly changes the cards a little bit.
Yeah, I think Montana Tech might come out of here and just try and draw them off sides. You got Countsman down here, the place kicker, warming up a little bit. Let's see here. It's certainly in his range. It's certainly in Casey's range, even against a little bit of a wind here.
You'd be looking at about 51 yards, 52 maybe.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I'd expect them maybe to try and draw the defense off sides, and if they don't, take the 5-yard penalty and kick it away.
So again, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision as we are making our way through a Saturday afternoon. We'll get you some scores from the rest of the nation here as far as the NAIA goes. There's certainly a couple games that could mean some movement in that top 25.
Sure, Carroll. I mean, Carroll's going to need a win, right?
Yep.
And they've got Eastern Oregon in Helena today.
Yep.
So I would expect Carroll to win that game, but yeah, I guess you just never know. You certainly can't overlook Eastern Oregon.
Yeah, we've certainly seen them come through at times where we've seen them in their highest of highs and then the absolute lowest of lows at times for the Mountaineers.
They've won a lot of games that you never thought they would win, and they've lost a lot of games that you never thought they'd lose.
4th down and 10, Montana Tech, the offense going to go for it. Jared Wilson steps up in the pocket, escapes to his right, looking downfield, coming back to help. Pass is caught down to the 19-yard line.
That is a great job because Wilson's facing a 2-man rush here, and the Vikings get pressure on him, but he escapes and gets out here against 9 guys in coverage. They're just rushing 2 here, and they get a paw on him in the backfield, but Wilson's athleticism allows him to escape, and again, going to his right, just throws one right on the dot to Michelotti.
Michelotti hauls it in. That moves the chains for Montana Tech, so they convert on fourth down. They came into the ball game converting 65% of their fourth down attempts, and that will certainly help that number out. 1st and 10 from the 19 inside the Case IH red zone. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Milanowski has daylight. Milanowski is going to roll in from the, what are we looking at? 19 yards. Nate Milanowski with a touchdown for Montana Tech.
Got a flag in the backfield. Might see a hold here, but nice piece of running by Nate.
Holding. Offense, number 69.
And it is a holding penalty.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So the holding penalty will back it up here. And Montana Tech will look again. We've got, sorry, I'm digging through the numbers here. Dort is leaning Morningside 21-20 at the end of 3. That would be a real interesting, if Morningside gets the win there, could make things really interesting in that playoff picture. Look at that move right there. Milanowski, just tremendous balance. Dances his way in. Out of the shotgun, first down and long after the holding penalty at the 29-yard line. They'll give it to Milanowski again, and he'll get corralled this time at the 27-yard line.
Good job of staying attentive to the running attack. That time, linebacker Aiden Russell making the read from his, the far side linebacker, getting down the line of scrimmage and picking up Milanowski for a short 2-yard gain, 1-yard gain.
Northern is at South Dakota, or excuse me, is at Dakota State, I should say. In the third quarter, Dakota State leading Northern 26-3.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting a ton of man coverage here.
Second down and long. 1 back, 3 receivers, 1 deep safety. Wilson dropping back. He's going to air it up right side. Has a man pass to Torgerson. Is he in? The official says catch. At the 11-yard line, Torgerson will haul it in. And Torgerson will get the catch. Watch this thing on the Case Construction instant replay.
I'm going to say, into the Case IH red zone.
Look at Torgerson, eyes on it. Defender gets the feet down, launches his way over the padding, and Montana Tech looking at 3rd down and 1. What a catch by Levi Torgerson. And just starting to rack up yardage again. Five catches, 82 yards. From my math, I think that ties him for the all-purpose yardage mark. Handoff going to go to Milanowski, and he'll get just eaten up right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by the defensive front for the Vikings.
Ashton Ricchino again making the play, having himself a nice football game here today.
So 4th down and 3 here for the Digs.
Yeah, I was thinking, just ball in the tailback's belly there on 3rd down, and the Vikings were thinking the same thing. So 4th down here, I don't know. I like the field goal attempt. 4th and 3. They did have 1 4th down conversion, a big one, 4th and 10 plus here on this drive. But looks like they're going to let the play clock work down and talk about it at least.
Timeout. Montana Tech.
So Montana Tech will call a timeout.
Immediate timeout.
We'll go ahead and step aside as well. 14-0, Montana Tech with the lead over Valley City State here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break. We're back after this.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most. Community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Bob Greenfield at Alumni Coliseum. The Digs up 14-0. They're looking at 4th down and 3 from the Valley City 12-yard line. And the offense, as of right now, staying out there. So the offense will stay on the field. Jared Wilson has 2 backs with him, Charlie Kurgan, and also back there is Wykeese Johnson. Tech is 65% on 4th downs coming into this game.
2 backs in the backfield.
They're 1 for 1 on the day. Torgerson goes in motion. Handoff, play action. Rolling to his left, Wilson. He's going to run it. Wilson across the 10, head down, dives to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Montana Tech. Tremendous run by the quarterback, Jared Wilson.
Yeah, that sideline has his back. Wilson answering the call. Nice job of escaping really early pressure here, but that's just speed and athleticism. He's really gotten comfortable in this offense throughout the year. Certainly knows what he's doing, knows when to run, knows when to throw.
1st down and 5, Montana Tech inside the Case IH red zone. 1 back at home is Wykeese Johnson. Johnson has 10 rushing touchdowns on the year. We'll see if he can make it 11 as he clears the right edge, turns it inside the 5, spins on his feet to the 2.
Wow, he took a good hit and stayed on his feet.
Strong run that time by Wykeese Johnson. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 1. Looks like an injured player down here for the Vikings.
Official timeout for an injury.
Vikings good team pursuit to the football that time. Looked like Johnson may stroll in, then he took a big hit, stayed on his feet, but the Viking defense didn't give up, got multiple hats to the football.
4:47 left to play here in this first half. And again, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision, Frontier Conference action. Let's see if we can get some other scores here. As I mentioned, Dakota State all over Northern, 26-3. Who else do we have here? Mayville State is leading Rocky in Billings, 21-17. So Mayville leading Rocky in Billings, 21-17. Kaiser is losing to Warner right now, 14-7. That would make things real interesting.
Sure it would.
And it looks like Arizona Christian leading Simpson 14-3.
Any Carroll score yet?
I haven't seen one here. College of Idaho leading Southern 10-0. Carroll up 5-0 at Eastern Oregon.
I think they got a couple double and a single in the first, and then the second loaded them up and got a grand slam.
Getting a heck of a pitching start here. 5-0. Can you even imagine how quickly you tear up that ticket? You'd be like, oh, come on, man. So back here, 4:47 left to play in the first half. Montana Tech leading 14-0. The Digs up over the Vikings. They're knocking on the door. They have gone for it on 4th down twice this series, and they have converted both. Tech, 31 offensive plays, 249 yards, heavy formation left.
Yeah, they're heavy, but with Torgerson in the backfield.
Timeout. Valley City State.
And again, the Vikings call a timeout.
That's kind of a clever chess match, right? They've seen Torgerson in the backfield a couple times. Timeout.
Yep.
They're going to talk about it, and we'll see what Montana Tech does to answer.
Last time, he did not come back in the backfield. Do you this time with no timeouts?
Well, I think, when you say they're thinking what I'm thinking what they're thinking, I think they're just it's a reminder, hey, dude's in the backfield. He can catch it, he can throw it, or he can run it in. So there's a reason they got him back there. So what are they going to do? Are they going to use him as a decoy and just run some play action to him and see if they can get enough hats to Torgerson and sneak Pierce or somebody out into the end zone or Michelotti? Or are they going to let him make a play?
I'm going to draw one up on the grease board one day where he lines up in the pistol and Wilson goes in motion and he just takes the direct snap.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks. Let's see if we can get some other scores here. Again, thanks for joining us on Digger Vision as we make our way through a Saturday afternoon, a gorgeous day here. 2nd and goal from the 1. Montana Tech leads 14-0 as we take a look at the crowd here. We've got a packed house on a Saturday afternoon. Look at the crowd to the north. And we've got some people here.
10-0 treats you good when it comes to attendance.
They're going to put Torgerson in motion. He'll come back, get the ball. He'll run to the wide side, and he is in, but we're going to get holding aplenty here on the edge, it would appear.
Is it going to be a hold, or did Netburn go low?
We'll wait for our White Hats call here as Montana Tech. Levi Torgerson gets into the end zone. Montana Tech is backing up.
I think you got her.
Offense.
Hold.
And it will be a hold.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So the flag will back us up. Take a look here right on the edge. Right there. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line. Again, my thanks to my crew for tremendous job today and all year long. Up to the line of scrimmage.
This is tough.
As far as this?
Second and goal from the 12 is tough.
One receiver wide right.
I keep the tailback in play. They got a 4-man surface. Backers are walked up a little bit. They're expecting run.
Net burn in motion. Snap a little low. Handoff is going to go to Milanowski. Stays on his feet. Nate Milanowski puts on the brakes. Turns it south. He is across the 10 to the 9.
Yeah, a lot of action for about a 1-yard gain. He shook a couple tacklers. Yeah, but they knew something there told them Montana Tech was going to try and run the ball.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and goal at the 9.
See what happens here. See if they do a little soft rollout, some kind of play action. I don't think play action is a call here. I don't think it does anything to shake the defense. You're expecting the ball to get thrown, but everybody's close to the line of scrimmage. I would expect pressure here. Maybe take a timeout if I'm Montana Tech, but certainly get a check to a protection that gives Wilson the benefit of the doubt.
3rd and goal from the 9. Wilson play action. He's going to go throw it into the end zone. Coming back, touchdown Montana Tech. Nick Michelotti will pull it in, and the Digs go up 20-0. A laser shot to Michelotti. He hauls it in, and the Digs
Does he throw him open here?
It kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Well, it looks like he leads him inside the defender here and just throws him open.
Michelotti steps right back to it and pulls it in.
He gets a defensive back with his back to the ball.
Yep. So the Digs will line up here, and they stay in the wide handoff, want to throw into the end zone, and that one is going to sail long and fall incomplete. 2-point conversion, no good.
All I can do is laugh at that. And not to make fun of it, but, you go up 20-0, what's the next step? I think it's 21-0.
So they see something here they like.
Yes.
They run the handoff on the edge, looking into the end zone.
And they leave Brett Grange there with not much of a chance.
3:35 left to play here in the first half. As you see there, a packed house.
You know what that is? That's a play they've practiced all year long, and they haven't had a chance to run it. And they just kind of said, let's do it.
Oh, my. Saturday afternoon. Again, thanks for joining us. Digs up 20-0. Now, again, if this continues, Montana Tech knows if Tech gets the win here today, they know they will get a first-round bye, and they would host a playoff game the Saturday of the Thanksgiving weekend.
The funny thing is, here, it's 20-0. It's been a one-sided game. Valley City's already out of timeouts for the half, and Montana Tech has one left.
Yeah. Kickoff into the wind. And a fair catch called for at the 1-yard line. Montana Tech has run 33 offensive plays for 260 yards. Valley City has run 15 offensive plays for 5 yards.
Yeah, good. Another great defensive effort out of this Montana Tech defense. They're playing really good.
So the Digger D.
I ain't going to say I could have played for him, but I would have loved to have played for Montel Allen. He is an intense, a really, really good young defensive coordinator. And I just love how he checks all the boxes defensively, and it's just never exposed.
And off to the tailback across the line of scrimmage to the 26-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 1 here for the Vikings.
Has Valley City had a penalty yet?
No. No penalties for Valley City. We have 5 penalties for 41 yards against Montana Tech.
Beating their average.
Yeah, that's if there is the black eye for Montana Tech, it has been the penalties this year. 2nd down and 9. 4 guys up to the line of scrimmage. Graham wide left. You see him with the club. They're going to run the slant route through the middle. That one overthrown incomplete. And again, Tech gets pressure quickly.
They get pressure quickly, and they've certainly got Cave's attention there. You can see his feet are shuffling. He's ended up throwing that ball off his back heel. It sails on him a little bit, but certainly uncomfortable back there.
Cave 1 of 7 through the air for 9 yards here today.
And I think the reason is he's had zero success running the ball against this defense today. You know, that success running the ball knows it's going to free him up a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's made, Valley City's made no grounds with him running the ball, so the passing game's kind of inept.
3rd and 9, 4-man pressure, and Cave's in trouble. He's going down. He's going to get sacked at the 20-yard line, and Montana Tech will get to him again.
That's Oaks again. Anthony Oaks showing out here.
So Anthony Oaks, take a look at the Case Construction instant replay. Will come flying in here, wrap him up around the waist, and down he goes. So Anthony Oaks gets the sack. That'll bring up 4th down, and the Vikings will be forced to kick it away as we approach the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, you got all day here if you're Montana Tech. First and foremost, and I don't doubt that it'll happen, Torgerson will get this punt fielded, and they will get to run 1, possibly 2 plays before the 2-minute timeout here. Montana Tech's in really good shape.
Good snap to the punter. Tech gets a little pressure. Kick off the side of the foot, and that one will go out of play.
See, I told you he'd field it even if he was 5 yards out of bounds.
It's just in his genetic makeup. He has to do it. 2:11 left to play here in the first half, so Montana Tech will get 1, possibly 2 plays, as Haskett said before that 2-minute timeout. Tech has 1 timeout of their own remaining, and they'll start things off at the 45-yard line of the Vikings. Tech 33 offensive plays, 260 yards. Wilson is 13 of 14 for $183 with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, just another standard day at quarterback for Jarrett Wilson. So efficient and just really guiding this offense this year. And just, the thing about it is not just guiding, he's improving every week, and you can see it, the comfort level and the improvement. And Montana Tech keep their tailback in play here. You've got two times you can stop the clock, 2-minute timeout and 1 regular timeout, so they're in good shape.
1 receiver wide right. They're going to run play action pass here near side to Dylan Snyder. Snyder across the 35 down to the 33. It's a gain of 12 as Snyder hauls in the catch. That's his first of the afternoon.
Happy for Snyder. Does a lot of the heavy lifting there on the perimeter, but a really, really capable receiver who doesn't get a ton of targets, but he answers the call there, moves the sticks.
And we've got our 2-minute timeout, so with it, we'll take one, ladies and gentlemen. Tech up 20-0. We're back here in just a moment.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Ron Haskett has actually added about a tablespoon of chili to his bowl of cheese and jalapenos. Thank you.
Just enough to melt the cheese.
1st and 10. Wilson dropping back. He has all day. Rolls to his left. He has running room, and he's off. 30, 25, down to the 20-yard line and out of bounds there. Jared Wilson, first down yardage. That's a run of 14. He has over 30 yards rushing on the day. Tech will move the chains and stop the clock with $1:52 left to play first half.
Yeah, he's just getting comfortable, seeing rushes, seeing lanes, and so athletic. God, he moves effortlessly smooth and fast.
And I love the decision making. Like there's no if it's on, it's on. If it's not, like it's so natural.
13 of 14. I mean, the decision making is in place.
Yeah.
And plus rushing yards, it's just great.
Torgerson in motion, play action. They're going to look into the end zone. Downfield, one-on-one, Michelati. And that one's going to fall incomplete.
Good coverage. A little bit of contact down there, but Khalil Toney is in really good position there.
Yeah, take a look at this. Good play. And they were not fooled at all. They on Michelati here in the end zone.
I think he's got he wanted it all there, right? But he had Wykes Johnson out here in the flat, for a dump down. But, when you're hot, you're hot.
2nd down and 10 here for the Digs. 2 receivers right, man in motion up top. Play action, Wilson going to dump it off across the back, and a big hit delivered, not before Michelati hauls in the catch. That's going to be a gain of 4.
Yeah, that's James Don again getting up, just staying on top of Michelati. Sure, he can catch it, but Don's going to keep him in the field of play, get him knocked to the ground.
Catch number 7 on the day for Michelati. Nearly 100 yards already here in the first half of this football game. 3rd down and 6.
Still have all day. Minute 15 left at the snap of this ball.
3 receivers, 1 back. Wilson in the pocket. Drops it off across the middle. Torgerson inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. 1st down yardage. Montana Tech with 1:07 left to play in the first half.
Still a timeout, so I don't think you spike this ball. Over a minute on the clock inside the 10-yard line. Certainly not in a hurry here.
Torgerson, 6 catches, right around 90 yards receiving on the day. 1st and goal from the 8 inside the Case IH red zone. Stacked eye, left side. Handoff going to go on the fly motion. Torgerson, good little stutter step. He's down to the 3-yard line. Clock running. 45 seconds remaining in the first half.
We get a stoppage here at Montana Tech. Take a timeout.
Now we got a flag back at the 12.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't see it there.
Holding.
And another holding penalty against Montana Tech.
From the previous spot.
That is holding, or rather penalty number 6 for Montana Tech here in the first half. And that will back them up again. 20-0, Montana Tech with the lead over the Vikings out of Valley City.
This clock will start at the ready for play, so 40 seconds.
And we're underway. Wilson out of the shotgun. 3 receiver spread. Blitz coming. Airs it up across the middle. Torgerson with the catch and the touchdown. Montana Tech goes up 26-0. Levi Torgerson, his 7th catch of the day, 2nd touchdown of the day, and the Digs will extend their lead.
Torgerson does a great job here near the goal line. Watch him just inside the 5-yard line. Wilson just leads him to the front. He flattens that route out. He's just throwing him open, and Torgerson is just so adept at receiving the ball. He just knows to flatten out here. He sees it's a low ball. He just flattens out. Dig route. I mean, what gets lost in the senior interviews? You talk about Torgerson and the success of this offense. Everybody knows he's going to be the primary target. We've seen him over under him. We've seen a lot of things, man coverage, over under, zone type stuff. He continues to get open. There's a couple things to credit there. Torgerson's a great player. Wilson's finding him with the football, but they're also scheming it correctly too. He's getting great offensive coaching here, and they're scheming it, saying, go ahead and try and take it away. We're still going to do it.
Well, and not only that, part of that is the idea of the scheme is moving him around. I mean, how many times have we seen him in the backfield today as opposed to the rest of the year? And, teams will come in going, all right, if he's in the slot, this is what we're going to do. If he's out wide, this is what we're going to do. And Tech just keeps moving him around like a very active chess piece. And teams have not been able to stop him yet. 109 yards today, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. And he is now the all-purpose leader in Montana Tech history as he is up around, what are we looking at here? Gosh, what was the number? 18. I want to say he's about 1,850 yards on the year, right in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, just outstanding. And another point to touch on, I don't know if you mentioned it, but he's a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year in NAIA.
He had better be.
Yeah.
He's like a Swiss Army knife with a few more blades than necessary, for goodness sake. So the kick is away, ton of air under it, and fair catch called for at the 1.
They all appear to be sharp.
Very, unlike us. We are those knives that you're like, man, I've got to get rid of this thing.
Ain't no bottle opener on that thing.
27-0, Montana Tech with the lead over Valley City. The Digs have run 39 offensive plays, 315 total yards. On the other side, Valley City has run 18 plays, 0 yards.
And if you're wondering why they go into victory formation, they're just going to kneel on it.
Locker room.
Get into the locker room and talk and grease some stuff up here.
So remember, Montana Tech will start with the football in the second half. And if they just wanted to get the clock running, they do. And we have one half in the books. Montana Tech leading 27-0. Frontier Conference football here on Digger Vision. The Digs up over the Vikings as the clock continues to run. The defense stays on the field for a few to make sure.
That's a well-oiled machine.
Boy, isn't it, though?
You know, the couple bit of hiccups, the penalties and stuff, they recovered from them, made big plays, couple fourth down conversions here in the first half, some big completions, just big plays out of the quarterback, escaping out of the backfield, running the ball effectively. I mean, it's just pick your battle.
We are at the half. Montana Tech leading 27-0. We'll take a break, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here in just a bit.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. A little sunshine here in November. We're at the half as the Digs up 27-0. Kyle Torgerson joining me in the booth. Sir, how you doing?
Good. It's been good. Good first half and lots of touchdowns from me to video.
How about that? I think we have to start here. I mean, I think it was Haskett that walked by and said they never threw to you this much. Do you have anything you'd like to bring up to the coaching staff before we continue here?
They're definitely throwing a little bit more than what I was used to, but I love to see it. It's good. I like seeing, all of them have success, and, Levi especially. It's good to see it out there, so.
Well, and he's now the all-purpose leader in Montana Tech history in a year. And I can't imagine that's going to be the only one he's going to hold as time goes, continues to just tear it up again this year.
Well, I'm sitting down there and all the guys are coming up to me, telling he broke this record, broke that record. So as a brother, it's really cool to see. I'm proud of him. He's put in the time. This team has put in the time. Yeah. Overall, I'm happy to be a part of it, video it. And,
I feel like there's a butt coming. I mean, is there a butt coming?
No, not at all.
All right.
I mean, we've been waiting for this. The program has been building this culture for a long time now, and it's cool to see the success finally come to fruition. And this team has put in a lot of time. A lot of these seniors were there when I first came in, so it's really cool to see all the success that they've had. Yes, Levi's been playing well, but all around, Jay Will's been playing well. The defense has been flying around, so it's kind of a whole team collective. So
you have a real interesting perspective on that, and I want to talk about other things as well, but you talk about that. You talk about culture. You talk about the fact that you have been around throughout the entirety of it, and you've seen it from the player's side. You've now seen it kind of from the outside, being a part of it, but yet a little bit removed. Why is the culture different? Because even from my perspective, the culture is different. I mean, it is very family oriented. It is about others before self. How do you put it into words, or would you explain it to someone?
It started when Coach Sampson came in, just the motto and mantra of family, and it really is. You can see it, at the start, it was something that we had to build, and as we get more classes in here, guys that buy in, you can totally see it on and off the field, especially on the field, just wise. A lot of times you got guys looking for, stats. You have a big game, they get called out. But with this team, it's really not like that. Just going into this game, one thing that I learned was the running backs, Wykes and Nate, they came to Coach Sampson earlier this week, and they wanted Vetter to start. Yeah. Which I think it speaks volumes of, just the culture of the program and, how a lot of these seniors are. It's awesome to have big games, but, you don't remember the big games if you lose. You remember the, 10-0, 11-0 seasons, and you're not going to remember, who had this many yards. So it's really cool to see, and it's all props to the coaches, props to the players, and, everybody around. The support has been unmatched. So
let's talk about your progression here. Obviously, when you played, you did a ton of the artwork. How was that difficult, or was it? Give me the mindset of stepping away from the team, but yet you're obviously a big part of the team, but not in the locker room. Was it a hard adjustment, or did it come pretty naturally for you?
It has been tough. Just going from player. It was always exciting playing and then getting to throw those highlights together for everyone, and being in that locker room, in the room when you watch the videos, and the guys love to see it. They're going crazy on Friday nights watching the videos. So it was really cool, but just the perspective of, kind of stepping away from the game, obviously injury-wise, it was, kind of frustrating, but still being able to be a part of it. I still talk to the guys all the time. They're, asking me about video stuff, and, did you get this on video? Hey, I'm going to do this next game, so make sure you start recording.
Oh,
so
I bet, yeah.
It's awesome. Obviously this year I've had a lot more time to put into the videos. So just the progression from, I was looking back in 2021 of videos that we made, and it's nothing like the videos now. And it's just really cool to see the progression of that, and kind of put putting the wins in the win column to some of the video stuff. And so I'm proud to be a part of it. It's cool for recruits to come in and see it. So, I think it's just a collective and all around brand that they're building, and, it's awesome. So
it feels like all facets are growing. It's the idea of the water rising is raising all ships, and I think everybody is getting better together, and you can feel that being around the program.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you see it in all the athletic departments right now at Tech. Everybody's seeing success. The family culture, aspect of all of it is, coming together, and it's really cool to be a part of. It's, awesome that you want to see the wins and you want to see it, pay off, and you're kind of starting to see that now, and, building and building and building. So
what's next for you? You're obviously a huge factor here, and if people don't realize, I should have said this before. This is how bad I am at this job. Kyle Torgerson does all the highlight videos. He has for several years, and they're phenomenal. I mean, they are something that everybody still. The idea of the video's out. Go check it out. If you haven't seen his work, go on social media. It's going to be shared by every player and every fan known to mankind. What's next for you? What are you looking at? Where do you want to be doing in a year and 5 years and down the line, my man?
I don't really know. Once I stepped away from football, Cody Levi and I had the opportunity of the golf cart business that we started with some of the locations around the state.
It's an empire.
So
it's a golf cart empire is what it is.
Well, they've been pretty cool to sell. It's been awesome to get into just business wise and learning all the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that. And then also having the ability to still do this football stuff. Obviously, it starts to slow down in the winter. So having this as, a second job in doing that, I love it. When I first came to Butte, I did not think I was going to say I wanted to stay in Butte, but I think I could say that now. I love it here. It's been awesome, setting my own schedule and doing all that. So we're going to go with it right now and kind of see where it takes us.
Okay. It didn't sound like you were still really sold. It felt like you were still kind of on the fence, though, about the Butte thing. We need to change that attitude.
I love it here.
I've told you this before, and I hope you don't think I'm full of something, but you're one of the most talented people I've ever come across. I love working with you. I love the work you do for Montana Tech in general. I just like being around you, man. You are a creative, inspirational person.
Well, I appreciate it. It's fun to work with guys like you, and kind of having that whole family aspect, it's fun to be a part of. So
and we have talked about it several times, and we need to make it happen. You and I and Cody and Levi need to sit down for an episode of Roll Digs. And I just I don't know if we do it like Jeopardy style. I don't know if it's questions. I don't know if it's almost like the match game where we give you each the question and you both have to answer. We have to figure out the format. But I can't wait. I look forward to that. And I think a whole lot of people would as well.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Levi might be the hardest one to track down for doing that, but we'll make that happen.
Kyle Torgerson, you're the man, my friend. And as always, just keep doing the damn good work you're doing, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're at the half. The Digs up 27-0 over Valley City. Thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. We'll take a break. We'll get you ready for the second half. Numbers and more in just a minute. Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Bob Greenfield, a wee bit of sunshine here in the mining city, a little wind, and actually the wind continues to shift more out of the north-northwest now as we continue. Tremendous first half for Montana Tech as offense, defense, special teams, they just continue to do incredible work.
Efficient.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's the word right there.
Yeah, they're efficient. They're tough to beat. They're tough to get off the field. And they're playing just exceptional defense. Just, 11 hats to every football. They got all their boxes checked, all their gaps covered. They get to the football. They play good team defense. Nobody tries to do too much. They're real position, do your job oriented. I mean, there's just a lot of good things to say about that defense.
Well, as we'll run through some scores here in a minute. Actually, there are some scores out there that feels like they could be very helpful to the Montana Tech family. We'll discuss that here in a bit, but let's take a look at numbers first. We'll start things off let's start it off for the Vikings of Valley City here. We'll start things off for them. They have run 19 total plays here today. They have -2 yards of total offense in this first half of football as of right now.
It's funny you should bring that up because I see Montel Allen, the defensive coordinator of Montana Tech. He's all smiles, The halftime talk probably wasn't that involved for him.
Yeah.
We planned well. We're executing what we planned well. You're getting all the checks. You're making all the plays. I mean, those are dream scenarios. Certainly you talk about what that Viking offense might try in the second half, but you've seen boatloads of tape on them, and that plan just isn't based on what they did last week, right? It's what they've done all year, and you've got the answer for them, and it's just got to be a great feeling for a defensive staff and a defense that's playing exceptional football.
Cave, as of right now, 1 completion on 8 attempts. He has 9 yards passing as of right now. He has been sacked a pair of times. He has tried to rush the ball 7 times. He has 2 positive yards rushing, and again, just offense. It has not been flying here for Valley City. They have 1 first down in the first half, and that is it as of right now. On the other side, Montana Tech, 39 offensive plays, 315 total yards. Jarrett Wilson is 17 of 19 for 225 yards and 4 scores, completing 90% of his passes. He has 4 touchdowns, 225 yards in the first half.
You know why I'm smiling more lately?
Why are you smiling
19
more lately?
pass attempts in the first half. That's right up the old alley. I like it.
Receiving-wise, Torgerson and Michelati, both with 7 catches right now. Torgerson has 109 yards and a pair of scores. Michelati, 7 catches, 90 yards, and a pair of scores. Snyder, Pierce, Milanowski, all with 1 catch each. Torgerson, now the school record holder in all-purpose yards and receptions in a season, and both of those numbers are going to continue to climb.
What was the number for receptions in a season, and who was it? Was it...
Give me a second. I'll dig it out.
Was it Dion?
I really want to say it was Dion. That would make sense if it was Dion, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, he had a couple of great big years and some big catch games.
Let me finish this real quickly, then we'll go there. Rushing-wise, Wykeese Johnson, 6 carries, 39 yards on the day. Jarrett Wilson, 5 carries for 30. Nate Milanowski, 7 for 25. And Mr. Vetter, 2 carries, 7 yards thus far for Montana Tech. Again, 39 offensive plays, 315 yards. They have 6 penalties for 51 yards, where on the other side of the coin, Valley City does not have a penalty in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a tough message to go in and talk to a team that's down 27, not just down 27-0 at halftime, but absolutely doing 0 on offense and struggling defensively against Montana Tech. So what can you scheme against when you go in and talk about it? You're going to know that Montana Tech's going to be looking at a lot of number 2s, number 3s here in the second half, getting your starters continued rest in these lopsided wins. So, the message... And I've been on both sides of this message. Win the second half, right? Now, they've got recent history, not on their side, but on Montana Tech's opponents' side. I believe Montana Tech last weekend was up 31-0 at halftime and finished 31-7. So what does Dickinson State get out of that? A win in the second half. I mean, that's all you can hope for, And and it can be done, but you're just looking for small victories in a lopsided defeat. And so far it's lopsided. And plus, Valley City has to kick the ball to Montana Tech here in the second half to start the second half. I saw Coach Sampson meet Christian Vetter there on the sideline. Looks like Christian Vetter will probably be your tailback here in the second half. The senior who did get to start the game, battled injuries his whole life, but it's his senior day, and you're going to see a lot of Christian Vetter here in the second half at tailback, and then you're going to start to see a mix of 2s and 3s in here in the second half. I look for guys like Cole Worley and the likes getting a lot of snaps here.
So to answer your question, the single season reception record was held by Dion Williams in 2017. That was 77 receptions. And we will see where Levi Torgerson raises that bar to.
I got to give my two boys props. I believe their senior year, they both had north of 60 catches. Lorenzo Snyder and Davis Almanza as a pair. But, that record, I think Casey Kelly might have got that single-season record for a while there, too. Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're right in that respect. Line drive kick, knocked down at the 5-yard line, picked up by Torgerson, and he'll bring it upfield. Across the 10, cut back to the 15, near the 20, out to the 24-yard line. So what looked like it might be something that Montana Tech gets pinned deep. Levi Torgerson still able to get it out to the 24-yard line and add to his all-purpose yards here to get this second half underway.
He made the best of a bad situation. It was a line drive kick. He was trying to read the bounce, and the ball took a football taking a sideways bounce. Imagine that.
What a shock.
But he got a hand on it, and, I mean, if he just muffs that and it rolls in the end zone, it's a touchback, but that ball wasn't going to roll into the end zone. He went back, didn't panic, got it picked up, and got the ball out over the 20-yard line to the 24 to start this series.
A whole lot of people still out in the tailgate as we get underway here in the third quarter. Montana Tech will have the ones out here as of right now. First down and 10, just underway in the third quarter. Montana Tech working into the sun. The snap is low. Wykees Johnson picks it up, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, possibly a positive yard.
Heads up play by Wykees there in the backfield. The ball low and to the left of Wilson. He did bat it down, but rather than Wilson just turning and handle the ball to Wykees, Wykees just picked it up and got what he could out of it. Not much, but not a turnover.
Second down, and we'll just say 10 here for the Digs. 2 receivers each way. As just underway here in the third quarter. Man in motion. And the handoff going to go to the tailback. Wykees Johnson has some daylight. 35 out to the 40. Out near the 45-yard line. Wykees Johnson is going to get 18. And that will move the chains for the Orediggers offense.
Some plays just time up perfectly. That time you could see lead blocker Kieran Netburn, just a perfectly executed lead block there. Kick out of the power off the left side. Wykees Johnson reading the block, getting upfield to some daylight.
Injured player down here for the Vikings. I got a text that Southern is beating the College of Idaho at half, but I can't seem to find it on my scoreboard. That would be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, you certainly can't sleep on Southern.
No.
You know, they're competitive and good by and large every year.
Well, and certainly they're having some issues this year in different places, but there's a couple places they're really good. And their front seven, especially their defensive line, is scrappy.
Yeah, they're good.
So and here we go. I did find it. Southern's up over the College of Idaho 14-10, and that is in Caldwell.
Yeah, Southern's good where defensively, where College of Idaho was really good against Carroll all offensively. They ran the ball between the guards, not just the tackles, the guards against Carroll. They were really, really good, and Southern's a little better there than probably anybody in the conference except for this team in black out here.
Jared Wilson, play action. He's going to drop it off underneath. Torgerson gets it, head down. He'll go to the 49-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. So Torgerson gets 5. Montana Tech brings up 2nd and 5 here in the third quarter. Good pressure here defensively, and Wilson does a heads-up play to get rid of that football and get some positive yards.
Yeah, Montana Tech, I think, the goal coming out here, obviously Wilson's in the game. All your number ones in the game. They want to lead this second half with a score and then start to kind of manage personnel and manage the game.
2nd and 5. Split backs in the backfield. Heavy pressure coming. And turning it upfield, that is Vetter, and he's going to get first down yardage. Vetter very close to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they're waving him up.
Yep, so they'll say right at the sticks. Montana Tech will get another first down here. That is Montana Tech's 20th first down here of the contest. as opposed to 1 for Valley City so far in this one.
And the one good thing about Vetter, granted he's kind of number 3 in the depth chart in that running back room, but you got an experienced fifth-year senior back there, so all your stuff's in play. You run play action, but he knows the system. He knows blitz pickup. He knows when he has to chip on an end and get into the route.
Handoff going to go to the tailback, bursting straight ahead across the 40. Good footwork down to the 36-yard line. That looks like Milanowski.
Yeah, his momentum's going to take him for another first down, I believe. There you go.
And that is, they will move the chains. So Milanowski will move the chains. And Montana Tech looking at first down and 10. Ball at the 36-yard line of Valley City. Time of possession right now, Montana Tech nearly 22 minutes. Valley City at 8 minutes. First down and 10. 1 back, 2 receivers into a really bright sun low on the horizon. Pass is caught across the middle. Michelotti, good stiff arm. Michelotti down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 23.
That's Snyder, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, on the drag route. And the only reason I say that is Michelotti has 1 full sleeve on 1 leg. That's the only way I can really tell them apart, the 5 or the 9 and the 6.
My apologies, Dylan Snyder. Really good stiff arm here to get himself away from 1 defender and then shrugs off a second.
No stranger to the hand play. A defensive end at Butte High School while playing receiver. Talk about a unicorn. But a great defensive pass rusher. That meant he was good in the hand play.
2 backs. Man in motion. That is Michelotti in motion. They're going to pitch it up to Torgerson. He'll turn it upfield. Cuts back to his right. He's across the 20. And down to the 18-yard line. It feels like he is just as fast when he goes on the wind back as if he's running straight ahead somehow. Like, he just never seems to lose any momentum.
There was a nickname given to a former Kansas City Chief, so I don't want to rob the nickname, but I can't remember the kid's name, but they called him the human joystick.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Torgerson is.
That's the truth. Second down and 5 here for the Orediggers. Ball at the 18-yard line inside the Case IH red zone. Out of the shotgun. Wilson puts Torgerson in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Play action. He has a man as tight end wide open. Derek Pierce at the 6. Pierce, stiff arm. Touchdown, Montana Tech. And there is another flag down. Derek Pierce. Ron Haskett was the closest person to him in coverage. And there is a flag down.
Might be as close as I ever was in coverage.
Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So another penalty against Montana Tech. That's their 7th of the day.
They're really sharing the load there in the offensive penalties for Montana Tech. That time they got the center.
So they'll take the points off the board.
Much here. Maybe right there. Literally a call you can make every play, every pass play, certainly. Maybe a little bit of a tug.
Thank you, Jason. He's in control of our case construction instant replay. He and Barrett and Pat and company do such a good job over there.
Stay aggressive here if you're Montana Tech.
2nd and 15, they'll change out personnel.
The goal of this drive hasn't changed. You want to get 1 more score here in the second half to help manage your game, manage your substitutions.
Kastelich checks in.
Yeah, more importantly, just execute here.
Netburn also back in for the digs on 2nd and 15. Netburn will go in motion. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Milanowski keeps the head low, pushes the pile down to the 21-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 here for the Orediggers.
Netburn with another good offensive lead block there. Him and Kerrigan do a nice job. They give the tailback their numbers early, on whether they want to bounce it out or whether they want to cut up, just read a kick-out block. But they both do a nice job, just all in all body position and blocking position. And they stay on their feet. That's what I like about them. They both stay on their feet really well.
Netburn, a redshirt freshman. 1 back, 3 receivers. Back goes in motion. That is Torgerson in motion. Dropping back, looking right. Wilson has time. Drag route across the middle. Pass complete. Snyder trying to find some room. Actually, it might be Kastelich up the sidelines. I have trouble with the number. I apologize.
I think that's Dylan Snyder again.
Yep, you're right. It is Snyder. Dropping back, Wilson had all day. Nice drag route that time by Dylan. Catches it, makes a little spin, and brings her down the field. Dylan Snyder with another catch on the day. That's his third.
It seems like that's where he gets a lot of his catches are across the field drag routes. But and that isn't by accident. So, you know, Snyder's kind of fearless, right? Yeah. That's not an easy or comfortable place to run to, and he's comfortable there.
First and goal from the 9. Hand off to the tailback. Inside the 5, diving, rushing down to the 1, just pulling the pile down there is Milanowski. And Montana Tech looking at second and goal from the 1.
I think that was Vetter.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's Christian Vetter.
Vetter finds himself a little lane, puts his head down. Look at the strength here as he pulls 3 bodies down to the 1-yard line.
Pardon me for stumbling around on some. These numbers are tough to read. The orange on black of Montana Tech.
8:27 left to play here in the third quarter. Vetter is the back. He'll get the carry. Vetter straight ahead. Touchdown, Montana Tech. So the senior out of Butte, Montana will pound it in for 6. The Digs will go up 33-0 as Montana Tech will pound it down on the inside.
Yeah, good drive here to start the second half. All your goals were accomplished. A penalty to set you back a little bit, but an offense that didn't panic and just executed.
So the Digs up 33-0, and the kicking unit is in here for the PAT. Frontier Conference finale for these programs. Playoffs will start next week.
And Vetter isn't going to give up that kickoff cover position either. Such an impact player here in his tenure at Montana Tech on special teams. And that was talked about quite a bit by his head coach in the senior interviews.
PAT is up and good, and we have a timeout on the field. 8:20 left to play here in this third quarter. Montana Tech leading 34-0. We'll take a break. We're back here in just a minute.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. Ron Haskett just telling me just how old he is. Ron Haskett has never had a Red Bull or an energy drink. Okay. Anything else you want to tell me, old timer?
I can just see my wife laughing. I know he's never had an energy drink.
Do you want to tell us about filling your lamps up with whale blubber?
Well, you're showing your age too if you know they used to light lamps with whale blubber.
That was my first job I had at home. So Montana Tech will kick off the Digs leading 34-0. As a Montana Tech 50 offensive plays, 401 yards. Kickoff out the back of the end zone again.
Good call on that northwest wind. It switched a little bit. Now Baranowski's got a little bit of help kicking the other direction and kicking it into the end zone, unreturnable.
It has shifted an awful lot as the day has gone here. It started out kind of the southwest and went to full west and kind of the northwest as of right now. So Valley City brings him out offensively. Joey Cave. Cave is 1 of 8 for 9 yards. Valley City 19 offensive plays, -2 yards. They have 1 first down on the day. Cave rolling, and he'll throw this one out of play.
There's a little bit of something they probably talked about at halftime. How about rolling him out a little bit? No play action, just a sprint out or roll out pass. Montana Tech was all over it. Anthony Oakes was up in Cave's face early.
Boy, and that's one, we've talked about the defensive speed out of both these programs, it feels like, quite a bit today. And that's one, this Tech defense, they're just so quick to get down the line of scrimmage. You had better have your stuff in a group. 2nd down and 10, one back. And he will get the ball. Bounces off the original line of scrimmage and not getting much farther. That's going. The senior out of Huron will get the carry, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Looking for an escape. That time getting a paw on him was Cole Graham. And again, a former great wrestler in high school. Just those good wrestlers, all they need is one hand on you, and you're done.
Yeah, no joke. 3rd down and 10. Honestly, I thought going when he got away was going to be able to spin it loose and get some yards.
And unfortunately, the outside arm with Graham to the top side, it was the one without the club, so he was able to drag him down.
3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun. Montana Tech will bring press up underneath. Quarterback caves in trouble. He's going down.
Yeah, caught him right across the breastplate. They're going to be, it almost looked like a face mask, but he caught him right across the breastplate and got his jersey. That's Anthony Oakes, which I believe is his 3rd sack of the day.
Look at that. Grabs him by the shoulder pad and just rips him to the ground. Oakes will be his 3rd sack.
Kind of the front side of a horse collar. That's not a penalty if you grab the horse collar on the front side of the jersey. It's just the back side, and it's a safety and an injury prevention thing.
So 4th down, and the punting unit is in, working a little bit of wind left to right. Pressure coming. And a short kick, end over end, will bounce at the Montana Tech 47, rolls back, and it will be down at the 46-yard line of the Vikings. So Montana Tech with great field position here. Anthony Oakes with his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I wasn't watching the sideline here. I would assume backup Isaiah Klonch has been warming up. I guess I didn't even look.
Anthony Oakes, if he is getting credit for all 3 here, he has 8 sacks on the season. He came in with 5. And as you mentioned, he has a lot of football yet to be played here for Montana Tech.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of people, but just defensively across that front, that's probably been one of the, not surprises. They were expecting to be good because they essentially returned everybody. But now they're a little deeper. These guys are getting rested and a lot more hats in and out of the game, and they're fresh and ready to roll.
Jared Wilson out of the shotgun, 1 receiver each way. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Wykees Johnson pushes to the 42, and they will corral him after a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 here for the Orediggers. 6:30 left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I'm a little not surprised that Montana Tech has their ones in here, but clearly they've got some stuff they want to work on here. I'm sure they're going to work on getting Milanowski and Wykees into the end zone as well. It's their senior day as well.
Yep. Both have 9 carries thus far. Johnson has 63 yards on the ground. Milanowski 42 yards on the ground. Vetter has 5 carries for 20 and a touchdown. 2nd down and 6 here for the Orediggers. They'll spread it wide, 2 on each side. Long snap count for Wilson. Play action. He's going to swing it out right side. Pass complete. Still on his feet on that edge. And across the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Parker Johnson just on a little stick route. Good quick pass action. Confident throw by his quarterback. And Parker just snags it and gets into his stuff. Watch this.
A fan of Parker, man. Senior out of Helena Capital. Good footing there. Little spin move out on the edge. Parker Johnson gets his first catch of the day. That's the 6th different receiver that have catches here today.
So this is his 6th year up here as Parker's. And the admiration that his head coach has for him, again, senior interviews, go listen to it. A really, really nice word said by his head coach.
Hand off to the tailback, trying to find the edge. Wykees Johnson, not much there. He'll get pushed down at the 26-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 3. Good pursuit again that time by the Vikings.
Yeah, I thought Wykees might have had a cut up early, but he saw it differently. He tried to bounce it out, and then that Viking defense got him strung out, so eventually he has to look for a place to cut it up. Does a nice job to pick up 3 yards and probably get the ball in his belly here on 2nd down as well.
2nd and 6 here for the Orediggers.
You're getting to the point now that if Jared Wilson pulls it on inside or outside zone, he might walk 25 yards into the end zone.
It's the truth. Clock running here in the 3rd quarter. Montana Tech, 425 yards of total offense. Split backs, hand off to Johnson. Wykees Johnson pushes the pile inside the 20 to the 19.
That's probably going to be a 1st down. It's going to be really close here. Had to get just inside the 20-yard line, and they're waving them up.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Orediggers. They'll be down to the 19-yard line inside the Case IH red zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they get down here close. They're Parker Johnson, senior. They going to give him a shot at 6 points or stick to the ground attack here with Wykes and Milanowski to see which one of those guys they can maybe get a touchdown on senior day?
Wilson out of the shotgun. Wykes Johnson in the backfield. Quarterback keeps it, airs it up, hits his big man, and out in the bounds at the 6-yard line is Charlie Kurgan.
Or Charlie.
So Charlie gets another reception. He'll go out of bounds at the 7.
Not just 19 seniors, and I'm not going to discount any senior class before. I never really paid attention, but a lot of real impact players within those 19 seniors. Yeah. We're sitting here talking about four guys just on offense that maybe they want to try and get a touchdown here.
Well, and the other side is, they aren't guys, and we'll continue the conversation here in a minute. First down and goal from the 8-yard line. Montana Tech inside the Case IH red zone. Handoff going to go to Wykes Johnson. He'll get ahead to the 5, nearly the 6-yard line. The point I want to make about this group as well is obviously we have a couple transfers involved, but a lot of them are guys that have been here for 4, 5, or 6 years, and they're guys that have waited for their turn. They're not guys that have been starting since their freshman year.
You're right.
They're guys that had to put in a whole lot of work. And some of them got time last year as a junior, but there's a handful of these guys that really haven't seen time until their senior year, and they have made big impacts in that time they have had as a senior.
I'll tell you what, they give the fullback a touchdown here, they're probably going to get a big donation out of Josh Vincent.
I'm Technologies. Here to tell you. And Torgerson will get it in motion. Stiff arm on the edge, trying to get to the edge, and he'll go out of bounds at the 6. Good defense that time. I am the president of Give Kurgan the rock here, so that'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line.
A fullback run, right? It's so basic, but I'd wonder where that is in the playbook at Montana Tech. Is it early in the first page, or is it way back on the last page, like with the trick plays?
Yeah, I feel like it is designed and it's drawn in kind of haphazardly. It's not a significant thing, 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Out of the shotgun is Wilson. Torgerson goes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. They're going to run reverse near side. Parker Johnson, and he'll get wrapped up and taken down. Vikings, boy, that felt like they knew the play was coming. They had everybody in the backfield.
Yeah, they have a lot of noses throughout this drive at the line of scrimmage. Montana Tech wants to run play action pass here against what they've seen. They could do it all day long. They just, they're trying ball control and not to make it look like they're running the score up and all that stuff. But
field goal unit is in. A 32-yard attempt from the center of the field. Casey Countsman, plenty of leg. Feels like he yanked it left, and that is no good. So Casey Countsman unable to get it through.
Wasn't real smooth through the snap and the hold, I don't think.
Casey now 9 of 11 on the field goal attempts for the year.
A little bit of a bobble there. Oh, no, it got there.
So we have a timeout on the field. Montana Tech leading 34-0. We'll take a break. We're back here, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Back here once again after the timeouts. As Cave out of the shotgun. First down and 10. He's going to escape the pocket. He's across the 10, out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And that is going to be a run of 6 yards, and that will bring up second down and 4 here for the Vikings.
That's a heady play out of Cave, because he knows he has eager pass rushers that are, maybe not completely abort mission and get upfield too far. These guys want sacks now. They know it's going to be a pass-happy game. Just keep your composure, get set. You don't like what you see, look for a gap to scramble and pick up yardage.
Slot in motion, Cave. He's going to run again. And this is certainly something you'd better be prepared for. Cave, a very good runner, has a good arm as well. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, brings up third down and 4. Vikings have run 24 offensive plays, negative 2 yards still here for Valley City. As Montana Tech leading 34-0. See if we can get some other scores here. Last we saw, Carroll was up 12-0.
Feta seeing some time in there at inside backer.
And we're going to go to the fourth quarter. We have 15 minutes left in the ball game. Montana Tech leading 34-0. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. The fourth quarter is up. That's next. Welcome back here once again. Military Appreciation Day, our hometown heroes. And those that have served, those that continue to serve. And as we talked about in the pregame, those that have allowed us to talk nonsense and the world is a better place. At least our world is a better place because all of them who have served. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to all our veterans, those who have served. Can't say thank you enough.
Even you, Peachy. I love you, buddy.
I would like to send out a special birthday wish. My sister, one of my older sisters, another one in our family, to turn 70 yesterday. She's hopefully tuned in out at Fairmont, enjoying a 70th birthday with her big clan. And, big celebration.
Happy birthday. Third down and 4 here for the Vikings. Fourth quarter is officially underway. So Montana Tech up defensively. We'll track down some scores here in a minute. As Cave out of the shotgun, one back. He's looking to throw left side. Pass is completes and tripped up at the 28-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down marker.
Yeah, tried to run a little under route, just to stomp inside out of the bunch. And a break to the outside, just a quick little under route, and just run a little too shallow. I think that was Yoder. Or no, excuse me, not Yoder. That was Westbrook again. And they're going to kick it away.
Yep. It's like they thought about it for just a half heartbeat, and now they will bring the kicking unit in.
And getting back to what I was talking about, going out and winning the second half, trust me, Montana Tech has that same conversation in there. Don't let them win the second half.
Yep.
That's you want to maintain the goose egg if you can, of course, but don't let your opponent win the second half.
Kick is away. That one's going to go out of bounds. Back to return that one was Manu Mello for Montana Tech.
We saw Manu get in the game. The last lopsided victory, I think, was Mayville State. Okay, make that great catch on that seam route from his quarterback at the time, Isaiah Claunch. And again, Mello, a redshirt freshman as well, 5'11", 165-pounder out of Helena.
Let's say he's one that's real easy to get excited about. His career at Helena High School was fantastic.
Yeah, cupboard's still full up here. There's a lot of impact seniors that are going to be done after this year, but they just keep reloading here.
First down and 10, Montana Tech, ball at their 39-yard line. 432 yards of total offense for the Digs. In at quarterback is Claunch. Isaiah Claunch will see his first series. One back at home. Parker Johnson in motion. Hand off to the tailback. Across the 45, pulling the pile across the 50, down to the 47-yard line is going to be Vetter. So Christian Vetter with the first carry here of the fourth, and he's going to move the chains. Montana Tech has run for 165 yards as a team so far today.
He's a great example, and there's a ton of them, right? But he's a great example. 3 or 4 or 5 years of maturing in a college football locker room and weight room.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a specimen. And not that he wasn't a specimen coming out of high school, but yeah, clearly a product of a big strength program.
He'll get it again, pounds straight ahead, and they still can't drag him down. He'll push the pile to the 40. A gain of 8 for Vetter, the senior out of Butte, Montana. Could not be happier for this young man, and again, just sticking with it and getting after it. He had a great career at Butte High School for Coach Harry Gray and company.
I just look at these defenses, and it's just like, come on. We're 3 deep into this thing. Do you got anybody that's easy to bring down?
Well, and then if they go even one more, good luck with Kaika Ho.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
2nd down and 2. 2 receivers right. Vetter still in the backfield. Clonch at quarterback. And Vetter gets the carry again. I thought Clonch was going to pull at that time. That's across the 35 to the 34. A gain of 6 for Vetter.
We want to talk about how people improve. You know, you can see the different running styles between Milanowski and between Wakees Johnson and Vetter, but Vetter's, he's really gained some jump cut stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell he pays attention. His lateral movement, running the ball through the hole, has improved in his tenure at Montana Tech. All, by and large, working on sore knees.
And I'll tell you, the other thing I love is, boy, he keeps the ball tight to the vest and he runs low. He gets chopped down this time at the 35-yard line. Nice penetration that time up front. Getting the stop is Ansonotti, sophomore out of Esco, Minnesota.
Sounds cold.
That does sound really cold, doesn't it? So I assume I have relatives there, though. I think I'm related to like half the population of Minnesota. I've been told.
Well, that's nice.
Right after handshakes, we're going to do a trophy presentation with Crawford.
2nd down and 10 here for the Digs. Hand off to the tailback. Good footwork out to the 30. Stiff arm, 25-yard line. Still on his feet and shoved out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
There's your man, Kaika Ho.
Kaika Ho. Welcome to the ball game, Kaika. Boy, watch the jump stop ability here. Like just the hip movement. And then he comes to like a complete stop. So Kaika Ho will advance the chains. 1st and 10 from the 19. Montana Tech inside the Case IH red zone once again.
Yeah, Ho runs the ball a lot like Milanowski. They're very similar running styles. Now you got Vetter back in the game at tailback.
1 receiver on each side of the formation. Clonch at quarterback. He has not run the ball yet himself. Vetter tripped up, taken down. Nice tackle that time by Bacoa.
See, they're not bringing a ton of pressure, but they just have, you watch, snap of the ball. They got their safeties walked up to 7-8 yards. The corners are backed off a little bit. They're just kind of doing man coverage and not so much blitzing, but they got the other 9 sets of eyes in that defensive or on that defense in the backfield here.
2nd down and 10 here for the Digs. Clonch at quarterback. 1 receiver right, 2 to the left. Clonch going to keep it himself. Cuts back. He's inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Kane Clonch. He'll get 5 on the carry, bring up 3rd and 5 for the Orediggers.
Kane's going to love that love you just gave him, but that's Isaiah.
I did say Kane, didn't I? Hi, Kane.
I didn't notice that you missed the name. I just know Kane never ran it like that.
Kane, good luck in the state title game, Kane. My bad.
You bet.
Isaiah Clonch.
Got those Billings West Bears playing good football down there. 2
receivers left, 1 to the right. Isaiah out of the shotgun. Dropping back, pressure coming. Isaiah will escape, gets away from 1. He's got running room. Isaiah's going to go. He's inside the 10, cuts back at the 5. Isaiah Clonch to the 1.
Perfect.
And they'll say he did not get the play.
He wanted the touchdown.
But great run.
He isn't going to get it.
Isaiah Clonch, take a look at the instant replay here with Case Construction. He gets past that first and just daylight. Man, there is nothing in front of him.
Pretty nonchalant tackle break there, don't you think? Just a quick little hand tap.
Look at the cut back there at the 5, head down, and runs into a red and white wall at the 1. Good run by Isaiah. They'll change out some personnel as Montana Tech will run in Jackson Cotton, the tight end out of Bozeman, the senior.
Now you got Vetter in the backfield.
1st and goal, split backs. Vetter gets it. Vetter to the goal line, and they'll say he is held out. Vetter, boy, look at the spot by that far official. I mean, his foot is basically standing on the stripe, it looks like.
That was a good tackle. At that time, linebacker Aiden Russell comes in and gets a hold of Vetter and gets him down. It looks like Vetter had enough momentum to carry himself into the end zone, but credit to Russell. Nice tackle there right inside the goal line.
8:35 left to play here in this ball game. Montana Tech split backs. One receiver on each side of the formation. Handoff going to go. Nope. Claunch keeps it. Airs it up. Pass complete. Touchdown, Montana Tech. What a play by Isaiah Claunch. Great footwork again.
That's
and
Cotton.
He delivers. Is it Cotton?
He gets caught in a
There we
touchdown.
go. So Claunch puts on the brakes, airs it up. Cotton is there for the catch, and Cotton gets the touchdown. The senior out of Bozeman will get the score. And it looks like Cotton limping off the field here.
He kind of had to...
Or actually, was that Martinez limping?
Yeah, it's Martinez limping. Cotton made a nice adjustment to that ball.
And the kick and the PAT is up and good. Montana Tech leading 41-0. The Digs up over the Vikings. We're in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. We're back here to Bob Greenfield after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Mark, orthopedic surgeon, specializing in sports medicine here in Butte, Montana. As an athlete, I think it's important to see a sports medicine specialist, as we have a different skill set than your general orthopedist in terms of restoring anatomy and restoring function in an athlete. One of the most kind of rewarding things being here in Butte is being the team doctor for Montana Tech, Western, as well as the local high schools and middle schools here in town. It's very rewarding working with the young athletes.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech as the Digs go up 40-0. Carroll College won their game earlier today. 12-0 was the final in that barn burner.
You know, it might have been a little windy over there. When I drove through there this morning, Cascade through Wolf Creek and all that, it was just a lot windier than it was down here. That could have had something to do with it.
Also, Southern Oregon is leading College of Idaho in Caldwell 21-10 with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Kickoff through the back of the end zone.
You're right about that Southern Oregon defense, though. That defensive front, that's a good squad.
Yeah, that front four is really good. And yeah, I just
remember going back to that game, talking to Cody Torgerson, the Tech assistant coach, just saying you might be seeing two of the best defensive players in the conference in Cole Graham at the time, and I can't remember the guy's number 5 for Southern Oregon, but yeah, and he leads a really, really stout, stingy, just fast and physical defensive front.
And it's nothing against the rest of the team, but it feels like the one unit on that team that has been consistent all year. You know, they have played really well all year. First down and 10 here for the Vikings. One back, trips receivers right. Rolling out right, looking downfield, airs it up, pass incomplete. Joey Cave on the rollout pass, looking that time for Deutsch, and that one will fall incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Deutsch had a nice runoff and enough separation, just momentum. Cave's at a full sprint there, kind of running for his life. That's a tough ball to throw.
Cave right now, 2 of 11 for 12 yards through the air. And as of right now, the Vikings have run 26 plays for 1 positive yard on the day. 2nd down and 10. Cave going to air it up. Pass complete to the 30-yard line. Down the 35 and out of bounds at the 37-yard line with the reception is going to be Westbrook.
Seeing to see River Wasson, who, he played a few games in Christian Hans's absence there at right corner, but you're seeing a lot of youth in that secondary at Montana Tech, along with that defensive front, and getting a lot of younger bodies there on that defense.
First down and 10 here for the Vikings. 2 receivers on each side, 1 back at home. Quarterback looking, trying to find somewhere to go is Cave. Cave's off to the races across the 40, 45 to the 46. That's a gain of 9 for Cave. Cave, 11 carries on the day, and that will bring him to about 0 yards on the day. He was at -12.
Another inside backer from Helena, Carter Kraft. He's a redshirt freshman. Played quite a bit in a couple other games this year. He does a nice job there, getting out of coverage. Of course, he's sinking deep. You don't want to give up anything big here, but reacting to Cave out of the backfield, coming up and making the hit.
2nd down and 1. Trips receivers right, 1 left. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here it comes. Cave in trouble. Gets away from 1. Doesn't get away from the 2nd. That's going to be sack number 4 on the day for the Orediggers, a loss of 6.
Who got him?
I did not see it. Let's take a look at the instant
56.
replay here.
Yeah, that was looked like Luke Donnelly got it. The first one in there, that's got to be fun for Brett Grange coming out of the secondary. They walked him up from safety to go on a dog blitz here to the short side. He had the first swing there at Cave in the backfield and got a piece of him, slowed him down.
And Luke Donnelly finishes him up. 3rd down and 7 here for the Orediggers. Defense up, 4 on the line of scrimmage. Cave dropping back, looking left the whole way. Square out is going to get first down yardage as pass complete goes to Fall. As Will Fall, the tight end out of North Dakota, will get the catch.
I think that's his first catch of the day.
Yes.
Will Fall.
Only the 3rd receiver with the catch here today for Valley City. Westbrook has 2, Deutsch with 1. First down and 10 here right at the 50-yard line. Valley City's 3rd first down. They've had 2 in this series. First down and 10 here for the Vikings. Montana Tech coming with a blitz again. Cave steps up. He delivers a dart over to the right sideline, and that one's going to sail wide.
Yeah, good coverage out there. At time, it looks like Justin Weber out there in coverage.
So 2nd and 10. We'll see what the Vikings bring to the plate here. Montana Tech looking to go 11-0 for the first time in school history. Football started on this campus in 1902.
Got a true freshman in there, 96 in that defensive front, get some snaps. Chris Click, 6'2", 285 out of Post Falls.
2nd down and 10 here. Montana Tech showing blitz again. Here they'll bring it. Cave gets away from 1. Still wants to throw it. Now he'll get rid of it.
I like that. Just an outside rush that time by Mason Kelch, another redshirt freshman, defensive back coming out of Whitefish. Collision that lead block. I like how he lit that lead block up, knocked the lead blocker back into Cave, forcing him to throw the ball before he wanted to.
3rd down and 10 here. Ball right at midfield for the Vikings. 5:28 left to play here in this ball game. Time of possession, Montana Tech, 39 minutes, 40 seconds. 12 minutes for the Vikings.
Can I assume these are just true freshmen here, like Tyler Gilbertson or Ty Gilbertson?
Yeah, I would assume, I guess. 3rd down and 10. Montana Tech shows press up top. Cave pump fake once. He's in trouble. Cave trying to escape. Tries to get rid of it, and he'll just air it away.
That was a good move there. He was dead to rights. Nice little fake to the inside.
He did everything he could to try and stay alive that time, and that'll bring up 4th down here for the Vikings.
I think they might have been asking for grounding here on the Montana Tech sideline, but Cave was clearly out of the pocket. All he has to do once he's out of the pocket is get rid of the ball and make sure it goes beyond the line of scrimmage, and it did both.
So the kicking unit will come in here for the Vikings.
And we get another look at Mello there as punt returner.
So the digs.
I would have guessed with instructions to fair catch, but you never know.
5:19 left to play here in this football game. Rollout punt is away. Nice tight spiral, nose down. Mello, fair catch at the 12, and that's where the digs will take over. So again, thanks for joining us as we are here on Digger Vision. Montana Tech is 5 minutes and 12 seconds away from a Frontier Conference championship. They had already won the east side of things coming into this game, but with a win here, they'll be undefeated. And they will win the Frontier Conference crown, period.
Just a great year. Really, really consistent play on all three phases of the game throughout the year. It's no secret they're undefeated. They've just been better top to bottom than anybody else in the conference.
Yeah, their consistency has just been off the charts this year. One back, one receiver on each side. Clonch out of the shotgun. Isaiah. Handoff going to go to the tailback. And some running room across the 20 out to the 24-yard line. Kaikaho nearly broke that one.
I'll tell you what, he shakes that leg tackle 15 yards downfield, it's over.
Yeah, he gets through that, it's over. He has tremendous breakaway speed.
So you're starting to see this. You can walk them up. They have the safeties backed off a little bit, but watch these guys versus where they were early in the game. They're at safety. Split safety look. You know, right now they're 10 yards off the ball. Watch them a little closer to the snap of the football.
I'm sorry, it's Merrick Mahelish in at quarterback. So Mahelish is running the offense right now, the true freshman. Handoff going to go to Kaikaho.
Is this his first action?
As far as I know, yes.
Because what's he get, 2 games?
You get basically, it's 20%. So you basically get 2 games where you can play any kind of amount of reps. So Merrick Mahelish, who had a phenomenal career at Helena Capital.
Really nice
true
player.
Freshman. Came in, had a wonderful fall camp. Like he was solid.
Really reminds me of Mark Jensen back in the early to mid 90s when he arrived here on campus.
Second down and 7 here for the Digs. Mahelish out of the shotgun, one back, trips receivers. He's going to run. Merrick Mahelish clears it left, and he gets tackled.
Not just because he wears the same number either.
Nice tackle that time. Open field, Chapman. So Chapman, the D lineman, he's had himself a ball game. He's had a great career here. Valley City came into this ball game, 34 tackles.
Another new tailback in the game, Gunnar Peterson, number 29.
Okay. Gunnar Peterson, a redshirt freshman out of Wenatchee, Washington. So Mahelish, a quarterback. Peterson behind him.
Brecken McClintock to the far side of the field at wide out.
Third down and 6. Peterson, play action. Mahelish is going to throw. Airs it up. Pass is caught and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Merrick Mahelish will complete a pass.
And who did he get there? Is that Snyder?
See what we got here. Let's take a look at the Case Construction instant replay. Good play action. Mahelish rolls and airs it up downfield, and that is Castellitz. So Castellitz gets the reception. First down and 10, Montana Tech.
Getting a look at Cole Worley a little bit on the previous play. They subbed Cole out.
First down and 10, Montana Tech. Mahelish out of the shotgun, split backs with him. 2:34 left to play here in this ball game. And they will burn some clock. I looked down and Coach Sampson was telling everybody to chill out.
That's coming all from the sideline.
Hand off to the tailback.
If it was up to Mahelish, they would be in 2-minute right now.
I'm going to say, I want my reps, and I'm going to go. Castellitz will check out here for the Digs.
He checks out, and I got to say it, my godson, Zane Moudry, former Butte Central Maroon in the game.
Okay. Second down and 7 here for the Digs, and it looks like we come to the 2-minute timeout. We'll take one as well. The Digs leading 41-0, about to be Frontier Conference champions, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break. We're back here in just a moment.
Even when you have to weather the storm, even when the unexpected happens, even when the local environment slows things down, we will get you what you need when you need it. We are committed to getting you back in the seat, back to work, back to what matters. At Torgerson's Equipment, we know what matters most: community, family, working every day to make your day more productive.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Back here once again in front of a packed house. No one leaving until this one is done. 2-minute timeout. Montana Tech to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 7. Want to send our love to the Klemple family. As Kellen, all points say that he is doing much better. It feels like day to day, even hour to hour. I know that obviously Coach Sampson has been in constant contact with the family. I know that athletic director Matt Steppen has as well. I'm not going to lie, I laughed a little bit when I heard what Kellen's first word out of his mouth was when he woke up. So in my estimation, when you drop the F-bomb as your first word when you wake up, life is good. Like everybody is here is thinking of him. And that has been the case since word go. So
yeah, the whole family, all his friends, family, and of course Kellen. Just a speedy recovery.
One back at home. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Mahelish trips over the 45-yard line and gets all the way to the other 45-yard line.
That's got to feel good.
And the Frontier Conference Championship shirts are being handed out.
All right.
Clock running again, so our best to Kellen. And certainly cannot wait to get you back to Butte, Montana, and hopefully happy and healthy and family in tow.
See if they might try and do a little fly motion. Cole Worley, senior in there. Certainly maybe they want to try and get him a look. Of course, he's in the backfield. This is similar to what we would see. Well, they're just going to go victory. The best formation ever.
There you go. So they'll take a knee, and that's going to do it. Your Orediggers will finish 11-0, and they are Frontier Conference champions. They were Frontier East champions coming into the ball game, and they have won the whole thing top to bottom with a win today. They're 11-0. They're 4th in the final coaches poll, and we'll find out tomorrow what they look like at the end as this thing comes down to the tournament. Remember, the top 20 teams get in. There are 13 automatic qualifiers, 7 at-large bids, and our first round games on a week from today will be 13 through 20. We'll play. The winners will take on the top 12 to give us a 16-team bracket, and we'll go from there. But Montana Tech is looking good. As of right now, if I'm guessing, and I don't know anything, for that I apologize. We really won't know anything until tomorrow. But Montana Tech will host 2 games at home. For sure, you obviously have to win that first one to get the second one, but they keep winning. There's at least 2 on the field here, and the first one will be in 2 weeks, Saturday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it's be interesting to see where that takes us, right? Who do they bring in?
Yep.
Typically, they don't bring in like a fellow conference opponent, if there is one that allows for that to happen, until maybe a game into the tournament. So I don't know. I know you say you don't know what's going on. I know less.
Well, and in years past, when we were a 16-team format, when the first round was the round of 16, they tried not to have conference opponents play in the first round. But our game will be considered the second round, and therefore we might see a College of Idaho. We might see a Carroll College if they get in. We might see OUAZ, Ottawa out of Arizona. Who knows? So who knows what is ahead of us? But the one thing we do know is the Digs have won the Frontier Conference title, 11-0 on the year. They have put it together. And again, we still don't know what the ceiling is of this team. This team has played so well. Consistency, I think, is the word of the day and of the year. They have played so well together as a team, and we'll see what the next step brings here for this Oredigger football team.
I just think of some of these lopsided wins. They are what they are. I think they get what they want out of it. They go out and execute and get themselves in a position to kind of lay off maybe a little bit or look at younger guys. But my thoughts go back to a couple games this year, speaking from an offensive side, a couple games where they really needed a drive in the second half or the fourth quarter to either end in points or to eat up clock to make it unreachable, and they were able to accomplish that. And then you go to the College of Idaho game. College of Idaho comes back, makes a great comeback in that game. College of Idaho has the ball with a chance to go down and win the game, and Tech stones them.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. Yeah. They've answered the call in big moments this year on both sides of the ball.
As we get ready for the presentation of the trophy, as the Digs getting a huge win here. Valley City runs 33 offensive plays. They get 26 total yards of offense here today. Cave was 4 of 16 through the air for 28 yards passing. And as a team, they ran for -2 yards as a Montana Tech's defense was just outstanding all day. On the other side, Montana Tech, 76 offensive plays, 534 yards of total offense. Jared Wilson was 24 of 26. He completed 92% of his passes, 286 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Jared Wilson.
I still can't believe he had those 2 incompletions. You know, that's almost unacceptable.
I know he's going to have to run laps or something. Mahelish was 1 of 1. Isaiah Clonch was 1 of 1. Montana Tech running the football. We see here 3, 6, 9. They had 10 different guys carry the ball. 10. They were led by Wykees Johnson, 12 carries for 74. Christian Vetter, 10 for 47. And the list goes on and on and on. Receiving, Torgerson had 10 catches for 120 yards. And here's the trophy. The trophy presented to Coach Sampson. Your Orediggers are Frontier Conference champions. There you go. How about them apples? Huge win for the Digs. They'll finish 11-0 in the regular season.
I look down there and I see Steppen, the athletic director here. Who were they honoring earlier? Montana Tech basketball team.
Yep, men's basketball team. Cross country, women's cross country, and track and field.
Volleyball team having a pretty good showing at the tournament again this year.
Yeah, none of this happens without our AD. Matt Steppen is just the best AD, not only in the Frontier but beyond. He is the heartbeat of these programs. You look at the lifestyle and the family he has given this campus, and I'll tell you, it's incredible. Oh, here comes the water.
Getting a little Gatorade bath.
All right, somebody can we get let's make sure, there we go. Good camera angle on the water here. Give us a little zoom out, will you? We need to see this. So Steppen gets the trophy.
Go all the way back to the entire institution. Chancellor Johnny and the whole crew. And it takes a lot to support something like this. These efforts aren't just by happenstance. They're well supported, both financially and with facilities and all that stuff. And they're just doing it right. This is what it's taken in today's NAIA game.
Frontier Conference champions as the Digs setting in, lining up for some pictures. Everybody coming around. What a day for Montana Tech. And again, just continues to be an incredible season for our athletic programs. So again, what we do know, let me tell you that. What we do know is Montana Tech is Frontier Conference champions. We also know they will have a first-round bye in the national tournament for sure. They will not play this Saturday. We'll find out tomorrow what the seedings are, and we won't know who our opponent is. We're going to be in that top 4 somewhere, so we will play one of the teams that wins in the first round, so we won't know who our opponent is tomorrow, but we do know that Montana Tech will host, because I guarantee you, oh, here comes the water. It's Parker Johnson, of course. Now he's going to hurt himself trying to lift the water. Parker Johnson approaches with the water. I don't think I've ever done play-by-play for this before. Oh, here they go, trying to get up to coach. Oh, they've got a good angle. Two more guys to get through.
They got to get one first.
Come on,
watch
guys.
this every week.
Come on, guys. All right. Oh, they can't do it when they're getting the full speech here. We'll wait for it to come in. What a day for Orediggers athletics. But again, the one thing we do know is Montana Tech will host in 2 weeks. Those tickets will go on sale Monday. So that's what we'll be looking at. Tom O'Neill, you're the best PA guy in the country. I love you.
Oh, hands down.
Not even close. He's so good. We do know that we will host in 2 weeks.
You know who his backup is, don't you?
It's you. I know you were waiting. But we will host in 2 weeks. Tickets will more than likely go on sale Monday. Selection show tomorrow. Tickets will go on sale Monday. Also, what will go on sale, and actually I shouldn't say they'll go on sale. It'll go out to our season ticket holders first. They'll get first right of refusal to their seats. Once they decide they're going or not, then they'll be opened up to the general public. And we'll also be sailing the tailgate spots starting next week as well. So we'll get ready for what is going to be one heck of a party that is coming our way here in 2 weeks. I can see Parker there.
This is exciting.
Oh, look at, we're still waiting. Kyle, he's 2 rows back.
He's on the other end of that jug right there.
Look at him. He's reaching down, grabbing it. Oh, this is getting close. Oh, they're right there. There's Coach. This jug's coming real soon.
I couldn't miss this putt.
Oh, here it comes. Right here. Coach Kyle Sampson gets the water, and the Orediggers are Frontier Conference champs as they go 11-0, and they will steamroll their way into the national tournament, which will start in 2 weeks' time.
That was even perfect execution.
Oh, wasn't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, consistency. It's all about consistency. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be here in 2 weeks again for that playoff game. We'll give you more information as the week goes next week, but we will not play next Saturday. We'll have a first-round bye, and we will be home in 2 weeks. And I guarantee you, we have bid all the way up to the semifinals, so as long as all that works, Montana Tech will be playing on their floor. So the Orediggers go 11-0. Thank you, Coach. And this is the deal right here. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. I have to thank my crew, Jason and Barrett and all of our great camera crew and more, and Pat and everybody. This thing doesn't happen without a lot of really good people. So, ladies and gentlemen, Montana Tech gets the win 41-0. They're Frontier Conference champs. For Ron Haskett, I'm Paul Panisco. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday. We'll see you in the playoffs in 2 weeks, baby.
Absolutely.